It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
We are the best network, Woodward Sports. I am Braylon Edwards. It is the Ermanni Edwards with Maz show. Let's get the Lizites. Anson Wells filling in for Ryan Ermanni today. Always good to do shows with you. But before we get to Anson, guess who's back, ladies and gentlemen? It is the man himself, Tom Mazaway. There we go. Tom, you're looking great under the lights. We missed you Monday.
Thanks,
Kentucky
Ray.
Derby happens on Saturday. But you were in a pickle, if you will. Tell the good people out there about your pickle on Saturday.
I was in Nashville this past
What are you doing?
weekend.
What are you doing in Nashville?
Kathy's side of the family had a beautiful wedding, and
So
it
was it
fantastic. It was optional, but not really, not in my world.
Nah, Kathy would have killed
In
you.
the married world, you gotta go. Plus,
Yeah,
I wanted to
this is
see
true.
my cousins. It was
Okay.
a fun time. But what I forgot is they're on Central Time. Half of Tennessee is on Central Time. Nashville is on Central Time. I had it all planned out. Oh, good. The wedding's at 5 o'clock. The race will be at 6. Nope.
You still were in the.
So I was in the church.
Oh my!
As they were loading the gate. I was watching them load the gate. I got my bets in. I had bets from 2 pews behind me. We were all betting on Forever Young and
third place
and Sierra Leone. That
Second
was our
place.
bet. We did not bet on Mystic Dan, and we came up that much short.
Don't you always put a little money on the long shot?
Well,
It's 20 horses, so I
there's
mean,
20 horses. You can't bet everyone.
which
and
means
I didn't think the 3, Mystic Dan, had a chance in this race. And he had a perfect ride by his jockey, Brian Hernandez, stayed on the rail. Meanwhile, the 2 horses I was betting were literally
fighting.
each other.
Did you
neck
see the
and
jockey
neck.
from Sierra Leone? Like that's
Yeah.
illegal, right?
It was, but they exonerated him. They looked at the film and they said everything is good. He did not get a slap on the wrist, and that's Tyler Gaffleone on the 2, Sierra Leone, and number 11 was Forever Young, the Japanese import. I'm telling you, the Japanese are catching us. They're going to get us one of these years. But that horse ran great, and they are him and his stablemate T.O. Message are on their way back to Japan. They got to fly the horses from Kentucky to Chicago, and then they go Chicago to Japan.
How long is that flight?
I don't know, man, but that's a long flight.
You know what else it is? Some long money.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's some like
Some real long money.
bringing racing horses.
Yeah. But you know what
That's
they're
great.
worth, man.
This is true.
You know what they're worth.
This is definitely true.
How much does it
that was
cost to fly a horse?
That's what they do, man.
when you're flying a horse, you have your own airline.
This is true.
You have own plane, own airline.
That's
like
got to
this
be a
is-
big plane.
This is no ticket. This is no cargo hold.
This ain't
is
Hazel Park Raceway.
No.
Up the
This
street.
is
God
we got to fly
God
to
rest
City
its
Airport,
soul.
downtown Detroit, probably.
Anyway, it was a fun day, fun weekend. My girls went out every single night to downtown Nashville, and they had the time of their lives.
I bet.
Here's
was
another
great.
random story. Tom Mazaway, you know I work out at the YMCA from time to time.
I know you do.
Shout out to the YMCA.
I know you
good
do.
things happen at the Y when
Yes.
I'm around.
You have a key to that place forever.
I do. They're very nice to me at the
Yes.
Y. I love the treatment that I get up there. Funny thing, I'm walking in the parking lot. This is after the workout, and I saw this old lady. This old lady was driving a car. She was backing out of a handicap spot. Shocking. She's backing out of a handicap spot. There's an old man coming. I thought the old man had plenty enough time to get by the car. I thought he was gonna, go by the car. Don't you know this old lady ran his foot over?
Oh, no.
Oh.
It was the slowest hit and run I have ever seen in my. The guy was fine. You know how you get the part right before you really get to the actual
Lucky he bought
metatarsal?
he bought a big shoe.
I'm watching it happen, and I'm like, how is he about to get hit? She was driving negative 2 miles per hour. I guess he was walking -5.
So it's kind of more his fault.
It was his fault.
Okay.
But also he's older, so
He was old too.
Yeah, he's about 80, and she was about 85. So it was.
Just a slow
It's all
motion
good?
car wreck.
He's-
huh?
It was
He's
all
okay?
good. He was good. They had a little exchange. He waved, and I got out of there before my services
Before you had to
were
save
needed
another
get-
life.
Yeah, you know exactly. I'm off the clock. I'm off the clock.
By the way, our good friend Dan Gutowski, Guts, he tells us it's 13 hours Chicago to Tokyo nonstop.
now
so
we
I-
got to estimate the price on that.
There you go.
What are you gassing up for 13
got me,
hours
man.
wise? Yeah,
You
that's a
got
lot
me.
of money. But this was off the clock. It seems NBA playoffs right now, Maz. Electric.
Oh, my God.
Electric. And I know who you want to start with. So we will start with the 7:30 game.
It's been a while since he's been able to be
in
excited.
a team that you have loved your whole life, that has let you down since 1973, the New York Knickerbockers.
Look how happy he is.
Starring Jalen Brunson. They look like it's something special and it's fun to watch.
telling you,
Maz,
man.
talk about your Knicks and talk about last night's win.
I'm telling you, I'm literally crapping my pants when I'm watching these games. And it is Indy and New York. Shades of 22 years ago. Reggie Miller and those guys going back and forth against each other. This time the Knicks hung on. They were down, man. They were down. They win by 3.
Right.
That 3-point shot at the buzzer, the first period.
First period.
There you go, baby. That's the difference in that game. But Jalen Brunson, he's a man's man. He is playing unbelievable basketball, and they do play well together, don't they?
Yeah, 100%. Pete, you put that great graphic up there. Appreciate you. You see that what he has done in the last 5 games, Tom Mazaway, has only been done by 2 other people. Bernard King, who a lot of people don't know, is another New York Knick. You guys don't know about him, but he was electric. And Michael Jordan. 5 games he has scored 40 or more and 5 or more assists. Last night, 43, 6 and 6.
Fantastic.
Before I get into last night's performance, Anson, because I see you chomping at the bit, but before, you know there was a situation where Detroit could have potentially had a chance to get Jalen Brunson. Obviously, probably won. Because what happened when he balled out in Dallas, people forget that. He was trying to re-sign in Dallas. Mark Cuban, he blew it. Wouldn't bring him back. He forgot that Jalen Brunson was really the reason that they had sailed to the Western Conference Finals that year because Luka was in and out of games. Didn't sign back. Then he wants to go somewhere. He asked to leave. Detroit was in for the running, didn't match the offer. New York Knicks get him, and now here he is. He and 2 other Villanova Wildcats. The way they play, is this shades of Villanova? I know the East is semi-weak. So
how about DiVincenzo? He gets that foul called against him. That saved the bacon.
He hasn't balled like this since what you just balled the Villanova game when he cooked Michigan.
Yep.
I haven't seen this offensive prowess since he's been in the NBA. Maybe there was a reason why.
When the Knicks paid him. When the Knicks paid him, I said, wow. I'm like, you're paying DiVincenzo?
Like, what? I loved that move for them.
I do now.
Because what I saw him do with the Warriors last year in a short span, he's a really potent player, very efficient. When they traded Emmanuel quickly, his game absolutely took off. If you look at his numbers after the trade deadline, DiVincenzo's been a dog. Now, my question with Brunson is when they signed him for $26 million a year, 4-year deal, $104 million, I really thought that it was a mistake not only by the Knicks but also by Brunson. There's a lot of guys.
He played himself.
What's that?
He played himself.
Well, I mean, that's a guy that, in my opinion, I thought he was going to go there and not repeat the success that he had in the last run with the Mavericks.
Oh.
I thought the Mavericks had a guy that fit their style perfectly. Now
you didn't follow the guy that won the Naismith for Player of the Year, and that Jalen Brunson. You didn't follow the guy that had 2
I've
two
been
national
following
championships
Brunson since
under Jay
AAU,
Wright.
man. I got my little Snapchat thing where I watch my AAU guys.
You win in college, you can win at the next level.
I did not think he was going to do this.
Okay. Nobody did. I give you that.
He's on his way to becoming one of the great Knicks of all time already.
He really
100%.
is.
Already.
Yep.
100%.
But I got to correct that stat that you said there because it was actually Oscar Robertson, MJ, Kobe, and LeBron is the limited company that have had 40 and 5 over 4 straight games. That's elite company. Now, I love myself some Bernard King, but those are the 4 guys when you're talking about you want to be on the same board as, those are the guys.
And you know the one thing you didn't say where you're kind of off is they did in the regular season.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
He did it in the playoffs.
No. These are all, this is playoffs, I believe. From what I saw, there's only 4 guys that have done that in the playoffs in 4 straight games.
Okay. Well, look, I take your word for it because all those players are elite. They're electric.
Absolutely.
You really got to take your hat off to Jay Wright. Because when you play on a team, like these are their boys from college.
Sure.
When you play around guys that you're used to, when you're on the same team, same ethic, been through the same struggle, like win it the same way, those guys make you play better. Like, those guys make you play just a little bit better. The game, they're so in sync. They've been playing on the same squad since they were 18, 19 years old. They're in sync. I remember when I went to the Jets, and I got a chance to be on the same team with Dave Harris. Dave Harris and I were on teams right here in Michigan, and it just was different being around another brother. Somebody that I knew, that same energy, somebody that knows something from when I was in Michigan, like, hey, know how to talk to me a certain way when I'm in a funk, know how to talk to me a certain way when I'm getting too hyped. Whatever.
Jared Goff and Josh Reynolds.
100%. It's that familiarity, And that's what you're seeing. They're balling. If Jalen Brunson was 6'9", if Jalen Brunson was dunking with it, add a little flair to it, if it was a little more sexy, like people be talking about him as the face of the league, but it's a methodical game. He knows the system. He's very skilled. You saw the skills of him and his father working as a younger player.
Yeah. His father was on the court with him in the pregame.
As he should, because his father helped get him there.
Yeah.
I love
what the Knicks let him do. I love that the Knicks give him that. Yeah. Let him do that. I think it's fantastic. And you know what? The kid's not a show-off either. I like that kind of player.
But
we'll
talk some stuff when necessary.
Yeah. Not a show off, but the killer instinct.
Yes.
And he's ready to rise to those big moments on the biggest stage, the Mecca, you know. But that familiarity absolutely breeds confidence. There was a clip from the offseason when they acquired Josh Hart. And he's at the mall with his crew, and they just go crazy. They're like, what? Because, I mean, you see they've got their own podcast. That kind of stuff, it doesn't show up in the stats, doesn't show up in the box score, but it's huge. I mean, these guys finally actually doing something for our man Maz.
Before we talk about the lack of Tyrese Halliburton, where the hell is Waldo at? Speaking of familiarity, just look at what Brad Holmes, to relate it here to Detroit, type of players he's drafting from the same school.
Yeah.
You see Terry and Arnold, Jameer Gibbs. You saw Jameer Gibbs and Jamison Williams interaction when they first got together.
Iowa claim.
Now you got Terry and Arnold. Now you got guys. They're going to help those guys put together. They know each other. Just look at also, what was it, Cam Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley.
Yep.
Teammates at Tennessee, that familiarity. But getting on the other side of the ball, where's Tyrese Halliburton win?
I mean,
where has he been? 2 for 6, 8 points?
Yeah, I mean,
we were talking about him in the same breath almost, well, not we, but people, as Jason Tatum. In terms of going into the All-Star break and what he was doing, now all of a sudden, where's Waldo, Anson?
Well, this is a brand new stage for Hallie.
Yeah.
And I think that he's going to be all right. But listen, this guy was asked to be on the U.S. team this summer, not to be the scorer, but to be the Stockton. And
he may not make it with these stats.
Well, not right now.
He may rescind his offer.
I'll tell you what, there's some real ugly stats for a lot of great players in these playoffs so far. That's for certain.
2 for 6 is one of the worst of them. Maz, last night there was a call in that game.
Yeah.
And I know you're happy about your New York Knicks. Miles Turner went to screen for Tyrese Halliburton, bumped DiVincenzo. He sold it much like Dan Aykroyd saw on Coneheads. It's a great play.
They reviewed it.
What do you think? You like that Coneheads reference? I used to be a Saturday Night Live guy when I was young. I still am, but I don't watch anymore. What do you think about the play? Should it have stood or should it have been a foul? Or should it have stood or should it?
Stan Van Gundy right away is like, no way you got to call that. No way they ever call that, especially in a playoff game at this time of the game. You can't call that. I was like, shut up, Stan. Shut up, Stan. Let's kind of stay. And then, of course, Rick Carlisle, he's like, let's take a look at it. So they take a look at it, and it stood. And I'm happy about it. I don't care, really. I think, obviously, it's an acting job. You could see it. But if that's what the refs want to call, that's fine. The Knicks couldn't inbound the ball twice as well at the end of that game. Remember that?
Yep.
They had to review that as well. Josh, what's his name? Could not get it in. Josh Hart could not get it in. Yeah. And then Jalen Brunson going out of bounds, threw it off somebody. I think he threw it off Halliburton. And it bounced off Halliburton out of bounds, so they gave it back to Indy. Both teams were trying to lose that game at the end of it. And the Knicks just hang on.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know what I love about it? Whether I think it's a foul or not, I just don't like calling in those moments. And I get it that, there's a bunch of other calls that could have been called. Just don't call in that moment. This is game one. Teams are fighting for the next spot, trying to get the win. Don't call it. It's just my opinion. But I love how the Indiana Pacers handled the situation. I don't know if you got a chance to see him at the podium or after the presser. They went to the locker room. They watched the film for 4 to 5 minutes. Rick Carlisle came out, handled it like a pro. He said, hey, that's on us. Look, we can't be in these situations.
Right.
They took the high road. Miles Turner, he came out after Rick Carlisle, and he said, look, that's on me. I can't make those plays like that. That's when you're coached by the right guy. That's
Absolutely.
Championship basketball, because a lot of other coaches, the players
could have used a guy like Rick Carlisle.
We just saw that in another series.
He got us where he needed to.
Yeah, so
I see so many ex-Pistons out there.
They're everywhere.
They're all doing well except the current Pistons.
They're everywhere except here.
Yeah.
Everywhere except here.
But it's mind-boggling.
That right
Isaiah's coming back.
Yeah.
Come on, we're getting the crew back together.
Yeah.
So this is what I will ask you, Anson, sticking with this game. When you see Rick Carlisle handle it that way, you see Miles Turner handle it that way, we also know that the Pacers gave that game away.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers controlled that game, Maz. I think you would agree with that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Pacers controlled the game. They took the call the right way. And also, Tyrese Halliburton gave you 8 points.
Yeah.
You're this close with your star player not doing anything. Do you think the Pacers can turn the tide? Was that a turning tide moment for them at the podium, or Jalen Brunson just too much in his bag?
They certainly can, swing this series around. It's only one game.
Absolutely.
When I look at how they're made up, if Halliburton isn't going off, this team's not going to get past the Knicks.
Yeah.
But I really truly
you can't rely on Pascal Siakam to score 35. He's not doing that for you every night.
And he's really the only guy with any kind of experience in the playoffs.
Got
Obviously,
a ring.
he's got himself a
that would have
ring.
been a nice Piston as well.
Yeah, he certainly would be.
He was available.
Hey, we should just, man, you should every time we mention a player, just say he was.
Ain't that the truth?
It is the truth, though. You are Halliburton, Siakam. That's two right
Let
there.
him go.
So
Killian Hayes.
We'll keep
He's
him.
not even in the league right now. You talked about that call. That's not a call that you want to see in that game.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The NBA wants the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals
they
up
do.
against the Celtics, period. So you're going to see calls in this series that they're going to make you scratch your head. But at the end of it, it's a major market that hasn't been back to the Eastern Conference Finals for 3 decades now.
Yeah.
Was it
Since the
mid-90s?
Spurs.
Yeah, late 90s then.
And if you elaborate on that, just look at all their sports teams.
Yeah.
If you look at where the Yankees been, they won one playoff game
been
last
nowhere.
year. We're the Yankees. We're the Mets.
They've
we're
been
the
nowhere.
Knicks. We're the
Giants. We're
Nets
the
are
We're the
never
Nets. We're the
anywhere.
Giants. We're the Jets.
Yep.
So this is major for not only the NBA. It's major for the city of New York.
How
State
about
of New York,
Madison
too.
Square Garden? Every night they got a game. Knicks or Rangers. I mean, right now they're like pigs in
How
slop.
much money are they making tonight?
Oh my God! Hand
The
over
Mecca,
fist.
baby.
Hand over
Mecca.
fist.
It is the Mecca. Joe Louis. I'm not Joe
Now,
Louis.
that's where your draft was?
No. I wish.
Okay.
I wish ours was at. It was at. I want to be
Were
Radio
you at
City.
Radio City?
We were at Javits.
Oh wow!
the Javits Center?
Yeah, we were at the Javits
There must have been
Center.
something at the.
Something was at Music Hall.
You missed out.
That's where the
I-
Nets play now, right?
Tell me about it.
No, Nets are in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Javits
they're-
Center's in
Barclays.
Something goes at Javits now, right?
The
Aside from
Javits
just
Center's like
conventions and
you
stuff?
get the conventions
Oh,
there.
I thought
the
they had
auto
a
show.
team that played there now.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's an old building. That's not where I'd want to
Old
have a
as hell.
draft.
We got robbed.
Yeah.
I got robbed twice.
You got
that
robbed
day.
a bunch that weekend, my friend.
But you got to come back to New York.
No
But then I
SI
didn't get to-
cover.
Hey, you remember
Man,
that? No
yeah,
SI
it's
cover,
terrible.
No Music City Hall.
I'm mad
But-
for you, bro.
I give you that though. Getting back to the game and the Pacers, it is game one. It is game one. But you look at that, your star player, who's gonna find it at some point. Like he's a really good basketball player. Tyrese Halliburton will find it at some point. He can find it at some point. You're only down so many points. I like it. I think Tyrese
That
Halliburton.
game was more important to the Knicks than it was to the Pacers.
They needed that.
And the Pacers are right there. They're going to be the series could go 7 easy.
They can steal one on their
Easy
court in
go
game
7.
2 all day long.
Easy.
Absolutely.
I knew it would be a tough match, and
Here we
it's
go.
going to be a tough match.
This
overall.
isn't the series that's
Now-
confounding.
Now
me.
speaking of stealing,
This is unbelievable.
here's stealing on someone's court. We've been talking about this guy ad nauseum. Like
Wow.
I've been talking about Anthony Edwards, Cuzzo, same last
Michael
name.
Jordan's son.
Look, can we stop with that? Can we stop with that? Because this is what happens. Every time there's a player that has some skill that shows off, instantly it becomes, all right, he's Michael Jordan. Let's let him be Anthony Edwards.
Wait a second,
I
though.
don't want to compare it. Just
Wait a
let
second.
them-
Michael just
listen,
came out and
listen.
said in the year that this kid was conceived that he
100.
was out there sleeping with 3 women a day. He just went on record and said that.
First of all, how dare you sully Michael Jordan's good name?
He's
Lies.
selling his own name. I mean,
It
come
wasn't
on.
him, it was
if
AI.
he wants to be on
It
the
was
level
AI.
with Wilt Chamberlain, he better be sleeping with 3 women a day.
It was AI. It was AI. It was not the real Michael Jordan. He don't talk like that. But getting back to Anthony Edwards, can we just let him be Anthony Edwards? He is out there cooking. He is bringing back the competitive edge of what the NBA and what sports used to be. He does not care about Jokic. He does not care about this Nuggets team that's the reigning defending champs. Hell, Rudy Gobert wasn't even on the court last night,
It's true.
and they beat him by 26.
Even worse.
The defensive player who shouldn't be defensive player, it should be Victor Wembanyama.
Yes, sir.
But the defensive player of the year.
Did he
wasn't
win it?
He said, no, he's going to win.
Nah,
He's going to win. They're not going to give it to Victor because they're not in the playoffs.
He's a kid too, and
Also, they're trying to give Minnesota more notoriety, more awards to get. Now they get you to pay attention during the finals.
Nothing gets more attention to the NBA than a rookie winning the ROY and.
But that rookie's not a part of what's going on currently.
True.
They want to be able to talk about that throughout the
Don't worry,
playoffs.
Victor's gonna
Neither
get
is
plenty of
Embiid,
press.
though, right?
He ain't winning it this year.
He won that player MVP this year, didn't he?
Last year.
Oh, I thought they were saying he was going to win it this year.
He won last year. But Anthony Edwards is amazing. And Karl Anthony Towns made a rare appearance last night, 29 points, 12 rebounds. But talk about what Anthony Edwards is doing, man. Because it's spectacular. As great as Jalen Brunson is, see, this is why Anthony Edwards will get the notoriety. This is why Anthony Edwards is the face of the league. He's dunking. He's jaw-jacking. He's a more athletic, slim-built body. Like, it's crazy because both are cooking.
He said he's defending LeBron's turf, right? Didn't he say, LeBron's out, everyone's talking smack about LeBron. I'm here to defend him and to show out for him, and he's doing that. He's leading that young team. And Ryan said he would not be surprised if the T-Wolves knocked off the Denver Nuggets. They're down 2-0 now. You lose 2 games
Headed back
home.
to Minnesota.
Hold on.
Huh?
Anson.
They lost on their home court.
Yeah.
Anson, swinging it to you. Pause. Not only are they going to knock them out, they might sweep them.
I don't think so.
Whoa. Hear me out. 2 things. 1, they got Denver shook right now. This is the reigning defending champs, and they look terrible. Jokic, I'm so glad this is happening because remember last year the conversation was Jokic is just as dominant as Shaq. Jokic is just as dominant as Bill Russell. You see how? Shut up. Nobody will ever be as dominant as Shaq. So with that being said, back to the conversation. But Jokic is now, they're bringing him out of the rim. They're putting him in uncomfortable situations. They're beating him up. He's now tired in the second half. He now doesn't have gas in the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. They're putting them in a situation they've never been in. They are beating them up. They are playing physical. And oh, by the way, what was Jamal Murray thinking, Anson?
Jamal Murray looks bad. He's not been shooting well. This is not a great shooting guard.
He didn't shoot well against the Lakers either. Until late in the game.
He shot something. He shot his warm towel on the court. I'm talking about him throwing the stuff on the court. Mm-hmm. What does he think? That's what I mean, Maz, as it relates to them really having them flabbergasted and not knowing what to do. You got Jamal Murray, who's an elite player in this NBA.
And a champion.
Last year, throwing things on the court.
They were embarrassed, yes.
Kids throw things on the courts. Kids have temper tantrums.
Yeah.
What's going to be the recourse answer for this action? 2 times he threw something. He threw a heating pad once, and then he threw a towel. What's the discipline for this?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be him missing a game. I don't think his team can handle that, and the NBA doesn't.
So I can just throw stuff on the court because I'm pissed?
Well, I mean, it's going to cost you $15,000, $25,000, I'm sure. But when you've got a defending championship team going down 2-0 on the road, or at home, and now they got to go on the road. Again, we sat here and we talked. We both thought the Nuggets were going to get by them. We thought that they were going to represent the West in the finals. But at this point, when you see a team like that that's supposed to have that cool, collected nature falling apart, not only on the basketball side of things, but also on the personal side of things, it's massively alarming. Now, I think
you got Mike Malone running on the courts yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
First of all, why didn't he get a tech? Like Anthony Edwards got a tech the other day for looking at the ref.
Well, it's championship treatment.
He wasn't just on the court. He was past the free throw line. But anyway, you got the coach running on the court. They're out of sorts.
Yeah, I think that they'll find a way to win Game 3, but I still think they are going to lose this series at this point. You said earlier, Ant-Man's the face of this league right
100%.
now. He truly is. They wanted to make Jokic the face of the league, but he's just not that interested in basketball.
And
he doesn't want to give
here.
interviews. He's not from here. He's an anomaly I personally like seeing him as a 10-year-old fat little boy. Those clips the most because he's not a good clip anymore.
Yeah.
He never really was. When I look at this Denver team, they're 4 deep, really. They play about 6 guys, and if they're not shooting well, then they start falling into a spot where they're starting to shoot even worse outside. They force the issue. I do see Jokic as a dominant player, but if you're not pumping him,
not more dominant than Shaq.
He can't score 16 points.
Shaq would have never had 16 points in any playoff game.
No, not down 0-1.
Unless he was playing Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, not down 0-1, that's for sure.
Put him in the blender.
No, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. The NBA is going to keep them in it a little bit. They're going to give them the whistle in Game 3 to see if they can bring the series decent. But at this point, man, the face of the league is going to press forward.
Yeah, 100%. Maz, I want to shout out to the chat. My mom hit me up, Maz, and said, the fro looks great. And the people in the chat say it too.
All right.
I appreciate you guys in the chat. It's been a struggle, man. The growth is finally now happening. But Maz, I bring you the same question talking about Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
the league has to do something, right? It just can't. Maz, what if? Okay, hypothetical here. What if Anthony Edwards tears his ACL because he slipped on that doggone heating pad?
Yeah.
When you think about it like that,
yeah, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Oh, so I can throw something as long as nothing happens. I'm good.
If you don't have a checkered past, and Murray doesn't have a checkered past,
I like that.
He's not Draymond Green. If Draymond Green's doing that, he's sitting out a game. This guy ain't sitting out a game, and I'll bet you right now, put all your money on the Nuggets in Game 3.
No doubt.
Put it all on. Bet them straight up. They'll probably be a 3-point underdog.
Take the over on the free throws attempt.
Just take them straight up when they play again.
Yeah, I agree with that.
First of all, you know what, Maz? I would love to take all my money and bet it on the short thing, which is Game 3 in the Denver Nuggets. But you know why I can't?
Why?
I bet all my money on the short thing in Game 2.
Okay.
I thought that they were going to come back and win in Game 2. That's my Home Alone impersonation.
Ooh.
I don't want to see you for the rest of the night.
I like that.
But yeah, I put all my money on Game 2.
I like Kevin.
You like that? Yeah. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. You can watch it any season, any month. But yeah, I put all my money on Game 2. Now, I really didn't do that.
Right.
I didn't really do it. But
now you really could.
Now you're nervous, though. Now I'm like,
well, now you're down a couple of bucks.
Okay.
Because you bet Game 2. If you want to bet in Game 2, you'd be all right. Like, I'm fresh.
Yeah, I'm
Game
fresh.
3, I'm putting it out there.
You didn't put any money on Game 2?
I did not.
Smart.
I did not.
Smart.
I did bet the Knicks in Game 6 against the Sixers.
There you go.
When they 86'd them.
Yeah.
Take the over on free throws attempted by Denver in Game 3.
That's another good thing.
Period.
Yep. Take the under on runs when you're talking Detroit Tigers.
Ooh. Oh, my God.
Is that where we're going?
You know what? Let's take
we got more. We got games tonight to talk about.
We got games tonight. I wanted to do a tease. What do you want to? Where's the games tonight? You want to talk now about that?
No, we'll take a break and come on back.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Let's take a break. First, we will get a message from us here at Woodward Sports. Or is it Swiss? Oh, you want to go with me? I got the papers now, Ryan. Les Stanford. When do we ever do Les Stanford first? All right, here we go. Let's rock and roll. Put the screen board up there, if you will. Les Stanford has never gone first, but today it is. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years, you expand and offer more products to the people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know for years is now available to you on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. It's a beautiful dealership, by the way. It's only about 4 miles from here. Check it out. Les Stanford at Dearborn as well. Remember that. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive, and you can drive right over to our good friends at Premier Pet Supply, PremierPetSupply.com. How about it, man? 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food. They've been around for over 30 years. Family-owned and operated, Michigan's best pet store. And like I told you, 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Curbside delivery if you need it. And they've got nutritionists on call for any questions you have about your pet. Don't settle for less. Give your pet the best. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Head to Swiss Insurance. They will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today at 313-530-1698 or visit SwissINS.com. Back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
Appreciate that, P. Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be with us today, but Anson Wells filling in. Always good to be with you, brother. Maz, before we get into more NBA, obviously 2 more games coming on tonight. Very interested to see the Boston Celtics. I have some thoughts on that. There was a concert last night. It was a Gunna concert. It was a rap guy. You know Gunna?
No.
You don't know Gunna?
I don't.
Everybody know Gunna.
That's my kids. They know.
I'm messing with you. I know they know who Gunna is.
I was too busy watching the Brady roast last night.
This is true. It's 3 hours and 7 minutes.
I know. I'm about almost 2 hours in.
I'm gonna commit to it, but my girl and I were watching the Met Gala last night. So
what were you watching?
What?
What was that?
Huh?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Just checking.
I know my brothers know who Gunna is.
How did Kimmy
Had
K
a
look?
concert. What was Kim K wearing?
This is how big Kim Kardashian's waist is.
Like my girl showed me this.
What
I
is
said,
she doing?
This
What's wrong with that?
foolishness.
What is she doing?
What's wrong with that?
No, I guess nothing.
When-
but
no problem with tiny waists,
No,
man.
but when it looks
I mean,
like when it
really.
looks like a tripod stand, like in terms of the.
I'll be honest with you. My
in terms
dad
of
taught me
the
this
width,
one at a
but-
very young age. Okay, if they can back up into that,
Into that?
I don't. No, I'm
Sir.
cool. Like,
Wow.
no.
not the hips, the
Okay.
waist.
Okay.
Are you single?
Shout out to my old man.
Are you single?
Huh?
Exactly.
Dude, what'd
heard
you
me
ask?
first.
Am I single?
Are you single?
What's the waist?
'Cause
This?
you're not finding nothing like that. And then if you do, you need to run. You need to run from it. Last night, Kim Kardashian, she needs to stop trying to compete with her sisters.
Wait.
Kylie and Kendall are in. They're younger. They're sleek. They got it going on. Like you made a lot of money.
Now,
Pay
look.
it back to the shadows.
Now, look,
Stop trying to keep up with
I
these
picked
22-year-olds.
I picked Kim over all of them.
I was gonna say that sounds like the two of you guys are ready to kick her out your bed.
Not
and
me.
y'all
No
full of
way.
it.
Look,
No,
man,
no.
Listen, she's
I'm just saying, I've never seen a waist this.
and you
long.
never
Waist
will
trainers,
again.
bro.
No. That's
Oh,
look.
she's been training at home. I promise you that.
Training what?
Her waist.
With what?
With a waist trainer.
Man, that's Ozempic and crack.
Okay,
That's
well, a
something.
little crack and some waist training, and the thing gets nice and tiny. That's what they want.
It's got to have one of those, whatever those things are called. Like
Anyway,
girdles or something.
That's a waist trainer.
Hey,
It
back to
cinch it
business,
tight.
ladies and gentlemen. This is a sports show. Let's not talk about the Met Gala. But as I talk about music, the concert, the suspension underneath the balcony or the mezzanine level at Fox.
Oh,
man,
I heard about this.
it was ridiculous. It
Uh-oh.
looked like Camp Randall.
Oh,
where,
man.
where Wisconsin plays the jump around thing.
Oh, God.
They say it's cool. They say that it's the support. I think they did a restoration in 87, 88. Would you trust that?
That's scary, man.
I'm cool.
I saw Easy tweeting about that. Now I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, if your seats
Now I
aren't-
know what he's talking
if
about.
your
This is
seats
at the
aren't
Fox
front-
Theater.
This is at the Fox.
And what?
It's the balcony. It's the second floor
okay.
balcony.
Oh.
So I have the video.
Oh, God.
I actually sent it to the
That's
chat.
pretty scary.
Yeah,
Some
I
serious
wouldn't do
way.
it. I would definitely not be. I wouldn't be in the balcony either. I wouldn't.
Now,
be
I
in
watched the
balcony
show on
either.
HBO a
Well,
few
you can
years
afford
ago.
those close tickets anyway. You good?
Oh, it's too close though. Rap concert is crazy. Like if it's not LCA, I'm not going.
Did you guys watch the series? It was years ago, not too long ago. It was called Vinyl. It lasted.
Man,
it
it
was
was
a great
so good.
series.
I was so bummed when they
Fantastic.
cut it.
You know why they cut it? It was too expensive to shoot, they said.
Really?
That's why they wound up cutting it. It was fantastic.
It
It's
was.
literally about the 70s and the record business. And they went to a club, and this band is playing at a club, and the damn thing collapsed. So that's what scared me about that.
Yeah, I'm
when
cool
you,
on
when
that.
you were talking about that. Do you remember that scene when the whole club collapsed?
It's really
You know,
a
you
fantastic
know a
show.
movie that sounds like Final Destination. No, thank you.
No, thank
I wouldn't
you.
be sitting on that. Getting back to basketball, there are 2 more games.
I thought we were going to talk about Kimmy Kardashian.
Nah, we're done talking
Okay.
about Kim and K for now. She's still
How
beautiful.
about her
She just
getting
needs to-
booed, though? I enjoyed
She
that.
did. I didn't like that.
I did. I
Maz
enjoyed
is a
that.
sweetheart.
That
Maz
was
is a
sad.
sweetheart. You're just an antagonist.
She's-
No, I'm not an antagonist.
Why you
She's
like this-
an antagonist.
Why do you like she got booed?
Huh?
Why do you like she got booed?
Who?
Why do you like that she got booed?
Just because I don't know, man. She's so arrogant.
Hater. That's
But
all.
no, listen.
I knew the first comment was gonna tell the story. Hater.
I'm not kicking her out my
Hate.
bed, but I like
Hate.
watching her get
Get
booed.
all that
all
hate
right?
out your heart, man. Get all that hate out your
That
heart.
sucks.
Maz, 2 games tonight.
That sucks. Huh?
2 games tonight, Maz. I'll let you lead the charge on that. Boston
Hey.
Celtics is the game I want to talk about, though. Boston Celtics.
I want to look at the spread of this game.
You
Hold
tell
on.
me what the spread is.
All right.
Boston Celtics.
Wow. I'm taking the Cavs tonight.
You taking
is
the
it,
Cavs
7.5?
tonight. What's the spread?
Boston's 12.5 point
What?
favorites.
No.
I am taking Cleveland tonight.
All day.
And 12.5.
I would take Cleveland minus. I would take them on the money line. This is why I do.
Straight up.
No Kristaps. He's out for the
And
Cavs
Boston's
today.
a little rusty, right?
Boston's rusty. Also, Boston didn't look that good when they were actually playing too. Like they did not look that good. They're not in sync. And also, do you trust Jason Tatum? We've had series after series after series, with the exception of the 50-point game that he scored in Game 1 against the Warriors so long ago. It just never seems to come up in the big moments in the playoffs. This is a big moment, I think, for him. No Kristaps. What is he going to do? Donovan Mitchell looked great at the end of that last game against Orlando Magic.
He can play for the Pistons as well.
That's another guy.
There you go.
The Knicks and the Pistons both dropped the ball with Halliburton and Donovan Mitchell.
So glad we drafted
the Knicks
Luke
really
Kennard.
tried.
Back-to-back.
The Knicks really tried to get him. I think they just got outbid. Didn't they?
No. True, because the deal was crazy. The deal Minnesota gave was like no sane person would have done that deal.
It worked out well for them.
But he wasn't even on the court. Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
His wife is having their first child. Maz, so much random stuff comes up. Rudy Gobert missed that game because he was having his first child. Was that the right decision?
Who's the one that said you should be on the court? You can have that baby will be waiting for you.
Is that Shaq?
Someone said that to him.
Oh.
Who'd you think it was? Gilbert Arenas said that to him? Thank
Gilbert
you,
Arenas says a lot.
No, I think.
Sometimes I agree.
No, I think. What game did he miss?
Last night.
I don't care.
What if they lost?
That's the right move.
What if they lost last night?
I don't care. They're up 1-0.
What would Michael Jordan do?
1-1.
There should be a bracelet.
Yeah.
What would MJ do?
I missed.
Okay.
What?
He ain't missing that game.
No, what? Kobe's not missing it either.
No. And that's,
come on,
just
man.
the
You're having a
soft
baby.
current
You're having a
status of the
baby.
NBA and most sport leagues.
Man, I'm not trying to over here like indict myself. I'm going to the hospital with my girl.
Of course.
My girl watches this show.
Yeah, I was going to say, she watches. You better say that.
Exactly. I was just asking more so like.
I do not. I think he made the right move.
Okay,
and you know what? His team's picked up for him.
Here's what my girl asked me. What if it's the finals?
Okay, no. If it's Game 7.
What if it's Game 1?
Game 1 of the finals.
Of the NBA finals.
You don't miss that. You make more babies. Period.
Wow.
There'll be more births.
That's a toughie.
Let's go.
That's a tough one. My girl asked that one. She also made the comment, you're smart. You're planning for this. Why would you have a baby during the finals potentially during the playoffs?
That could happen anytime.
People plan these things out, especially athletes who are married. You plan it out. Why are you going to have the child right in the middle of the playoffs?
What if it was an oops?
Most of them are.
Those do happen.
Bray, are you skipping a finals game for your baby? Firstborn.
Finals?
Game
Firstborn?
4. Game 4. You're
Of
down
course.
2-1.
Is this my first finals game too?
Actually, no, it's game 2. You're down 0-1 at home. And you got a baby on the way, number 1.
I got that's a serious conversation I got to have with my girl. I'm like, look,
can we call in or not?
We got waxed last night. Like I want to be here, but we can't go down 0-2.
No. I like that answer.
We can't go down 0-2.
That's the truth right there, my friend.
Like, babe, look, we cannot go down. Listen, if you listen to, we cannot go down.
You just got to tell you
don't
hold
want to raise your kid looking at their dad as a quitter or a loser.
That's what you pull the doctor to the side. Look,
you got to hold out.
I need you to delay this.
You got to hold out.
I don't even need 24 hours. I need you to delay this thing about 10 hours. Can you do that for me?
Either that or you talk your wife into having a C-section before the game.
Ooh.
No, it's her body. I let women do with their bodies.
I'm just saying.
That's
I'm not.
Your
I'm
body.
giving you I'm giving you an
vote
extra
against
out.
that one myself.
I'm giving you an extra out. That's
I
all.
love it. See, I start itching a little bit, man.
Okay, man.
No, I'm messing with you, but
I got no issue with him missing
the
that game.
medical facilities in these arenas now, can't we just have a baby there?
You wildin'.
Anson, are you married?
Once again,
Are you married?
That's the second time you guys asked me if I'm single and married. Damn it.
You said a comment where I'm
Are
like,
you
nah.
married?
No.
You shut up then. You shut up. You're out. You're out of this conversation.
You're going to tell me that if Rudy Gobert's wife had a full medical staff in the basement bunkers of the stadium, that wouldn't suffice?
Hey,
It's
look,
time for halftime, guys. Let's go. Get that thing out.
If you still want to be married after the game, you know that was foolishness. Rudy Gobert could not do that. That's just dumb. But the
So
Celtics.
Cavaliers tonight.
Yeah, exactly. You got me off track talking about Rudy Gobert and what he should do with the stadium and the arena. So you now we're delivering kids at LCA?
Well, I know you're playing in game 2, so you may as well have them being birthed at LCA. Why not?
Anyway, Donovan Mitchell.
Future of medical facilities.
He torched the Orlando Magic in the last fourth quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter to win game 7.
Down 16, too.
The craziest thing about how it happened, the pendulum shifted so quick.
Man.
They were down 13. 9 minutes later, they were up 10.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell. What do you think this series could do? You said it. 12?
Cavaliers are going to give the Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to give them a match.
Oh, yeah.
The Celtics are not going to walk over Cleveland. I like Cleveland tonight. I do. I have a sneaky suspicion that not only do they cover that number, but they might win it tonight.
Anson, for Cleveland to beat for the Cavs to beat the Celtics tonight, who from the Cavs has to step up? Obviously, we know 45 is going to step up.
Evan Mobley, all
There
day
it
long.
is.
They've got to take advantage of the fact that Kristaps is not going to be in the lineup tonight. You were kind of alluding to it earlier. Can one of these guys on the Celtics step up? All I've seen from the Celtics for the last 4 years is not showing up when they're on the main stage, and that's where they're at right now. I think
I would go so far as to say in the biggest moments, Jaylen Brown has stepped up more than Jason Tatum.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But the team itself, that's not the direction they want to go in. That's not what they're drawing up with 5 seconds left on the clock to end the game. You know, they're not saying, let's get it to JB. Tatum's got that year right now in front of him where we've talked about this last week. Is this guy a superstar? I mean, he's got the game to be one, but he's not seen as one because he can't get past this moment. He can't get past these big moments. He just kind of embarrasses himself and the team loses. If he can win this game without Kristaps, it's going to go a long way to be able to win the series. But yeah, everybody's been on the Celtics train all year long because they've got this great record. I think that them and the Nuggets might not even be in their own conference finals.
I would love to see the Knicks and Celtics in the East Finals.
Yeah, me too.
That would take
and
it back.
the NBA does too.
That's a great throwback.
It'd be nostalgic.
That's a great one.
No one wants to see Indy Cleveland. I know that.
I know that for a fact.
Trust me, you won't be saying Indy Cleveland because there's no Tyrese Halliburton.
The other game tonight, you got the Mavericks.
And that's where I want
and
to
OKC.
go.
OKC will be home, number 1 seed.
It's my squad right there.
3.5. Thunder 3.5-point favorites tonight.
You got one of the current faces of the NBA, which being Luka Doncic, with one of the on the rise players in the NBA. And I think SGA is here. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the OKC City Thunder. Interesting series. Who do you think has to win game on one and why?
Well, OKC absolutely has to win one game.
They're the 1 seed.
Yeah, they're the 1 seed, and they're one of the youngest teams in the league, and they're killing it. Yeah. Now, you look at them, and their big three is strikingly reminiscent to what they had when they were transitioning from Seattle to Oklahoma.
Oh, watch it.
They had KD.
Watch it.
They had Russell Westbrook.
Watch it.
And they had James Harden. James Harden, to me, I know their games are different.
So you see 3 potential MVPs.
Absolutely. I think J-Dub is so damn good on that team, Jalen Williams, that at some point, if they can't keep those 3 together, they need to. They need to learn from their past mistake and keep these 3 guys together. But I think J-Dub can go and be a superstar at any other team in this league. When you talk about SGA, this guy on over 9 categories, there's really nobody that competes with him.
Where will he finish in the MVP rating? Because he was there the whole season. Where do you think he finishes MVP?
I'll be honest, I think that he should win it.
Okay. Oh,
because
nice.
when you look at how young this team is, and yes, they've got 3 great players and they've got a great supporting staff underneath them, but this is a guy that really has just he made his mark last year, but he's really come out of nowhere to he is the ultimate leader over 9 stat categories in the NBA. You got Doncic and Embiid and Joker that are right behind him. But what he's been able to do with this team in taking them over the hump, should I say, and not only just getting to the playoffs, but being the number 1 seed. This is a team that could crumble with one bad game. Yeah. They go out and they lose game 1 at home after they fought so hard to get the home court advantage. They have to come out and win game 1.
How's Chet Holmgren been this year? Because I haven't really paid attention to him.
Runner-up to Rookie of the Year, that's for sure.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him.
Chet's the guy I want to hear. Obviously, we didn't have the right pick. We were a few picks later, but that's the guy that I wanted for that draft. When everybody was talking about him being too skinny, I simply pointed to Giannis. I simply pointed to KD. I simply pointed to Dwight Howard. All those guys were extremely frail when they were drafted, and they ended up being darn good players. Chet's balling, and I think that's the other guy that you're talking about in terms of that big 3. I like Chet a lot.
Yeah, I love Chet. What he does on the offensive side of the court, it's
sneaky shot blocker too.
Well, that's the thing. Is as great as he is and as efficient as he is from the outside and the inside offensively, he's one of the best young defenders in the league. I mean, you can't go up against this guy within 10 feet and put up a shot naturally. But I'm telling you, J-Dub is the X factor on this team, because when they struggle, I watched some of that first series, and SGA he was playing real bad early on in the first round. I feel like their offense kind of shuts down and defaults to him, especially in the fourth quarter. And I don't think that that's when they're at their best. When he and Chet are struggling, you can see J-Dub have 2 points in the first half and end with 26 because this kid is just, he's a silent assassin inside and outside. But to have that third true dominant scorer.
He's also playing one-on-one. The other two guys are probably getting double, probably help side. He's the one that's getting the one-on-one, so he's winning that one-on-one matchup.
Absolutely. But he can get to the hole. He can finish. He's a great free throw shooter, and he can also shoot from outside. He's such an X factor on that team. I don't really see anybody else that's that three deep, not even the Celtics.
Maz, you know who my guy is in the league? I think he's the most skilled NBA player ever. I didn't say the best. I said skilled. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's another guy that people aren't talking about. Luka Doncic didn't have the best final. I mean, the best round in the last round. Didn't have his best showing. It was Kyrie that led those guys and got past. What do you think about Kyrie and Luka? Are they going to do it?
They got a hell of a chance to win the series.
Squad.
They really do have a heck of a chance to win this series.
Yeah.
Anybody's game is tonight. It's 3.5 point spread tonight. Whoever wins tonight's game, I think, has got a really good chance to win this series. I think tonight's game is very important between these two teams. OKC's young, up and coming. First time they've been a number one seed. And Dallas, they're playing good ball, man. They are playing good. And so is their counterpart in hockey, the Dallas Stars. They're both teams playing excellent. Both teams in the Final Eight. Here's
a good question for you. Luka Doncic. We talk about legacies. We talk about faces of the league. We talk about disappointment when we were talking about I'm about to say Channing Tatum. Jason, I can't think of his name right now. Tatum. Tatum. You talk about disappointment. Same thing for Luka Doncic. How important is this series, in my estimation, to Dallas and especially to Luka Doncic? Because if you look back, they got to the Western Conference Finals. They knocked out Phoenix or whatever, or they got there to play against Phoenix. Jalen Brunson's the one that really ultimately got him there. So what does this say about Luka's legacy? What does he have to do?
Well, it's not just about Luka's legacy. It's about the Kyrie Irving move last year because everybody was upset that they didn't keep Brunson. I thought Brunson was such a great fit for them.
Agreed.
Could they have been together?
Mark Cuban.
Could they have played well together?
Those three?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have got Kyrie if Jalen Brunson didn't leave.
Okay.
I don't think so either. But Kyrie, in my opinion, is one of the 5 best point guards of all time. And when he finishes sleep on it. The best handle of all time, and I'm saying that over my boy Isaiah.
He's the most skilled basketball player ever.
I think so too.
Come on, man.
When it comes to absolute skill.
Most skilled player ever. Listen, sometimes when I'm bored, I BS you not. Sometimes when I'm bored, and I'm at the house and I'm a little glorious, if you will, you get where I'm going.
I do.
Man, I sit down and watch an hour worth of Kyrie highlights just with like Marvin Gaye in the background or something. They put him on YouTube. He's just so ridiculous.
Skilled.
You have to watch his stuff slow motion. Mm-hmm. When you watch it, they slow it down on YouTube because then you can really see what he is really doing. You watch it fast, you just look like somebody just got to the bucket. When you see he's the most skilled player ever.
It's
not best, just most skilled.
Yeah, it's astounding what that guy and that size of a man can do with the ball on the perimeter, but even more so in getting to the hole. Kyrie was a major decision for that organization, and it backfired heavily when he got there at the trade deadline last year. They were terrible after they got him. It's been a completely different story this year.
Weren't they in 6th place and ended up not making the playoffs?
Correct.
They were 6th place when they got there. Yeah.
So for me, I don't know if you're ever going to see Luka win a ring until he can start playing some defense. He is such a liability.
You're not gonna see that.
That's over. It's outweighed by his ability on the offensive side. All of the magic that this guy's able to put together. It's overshadowed by the fact that he is an absolute defensive liability. So I'm not sure if this team is going to be able to get past OKC. I think that Kyrie's got enough experience and ability, like you said, that they could win this game. I don't see him getting out of the West, though.
Here's something fun.
I'm rooting for OKC.
You rooting for OKC?
Yeah.
SGA. This will be the last year I root for Luka and Kyrie. I'm always rooting for Kyrie, but this will be the last year I root for Luka and Kyrie unless I see something. So I like SGA, but I'm going to go that route. 22 years ago today, Maz, you sent this in. Speaking of NBA, speaking of legends, there was a famous guy that played for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he had something very interesting to say as it related to practice.
When you just talk about practice, we sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man. When you come in the arena and you see me play, don't you?
Absolutely.
You see me give everything I got, right?
Absolutely.
But we talking about practice right now.
But it's an issue that your coach
We talking about practice.
to raise.
Man, I hear you. It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too. But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game, when it matters. We talking about practice.
Alan, is it possible though that from where he's coming from?
Two things on this. Still one of the most hilarious clips I've ever seen. I think I caught the second half of that press conference live, so I saw the last couple times. 22 times is how many times he said practice in that video.
22 years ago, too.
22, and it was 22 times. There
Look
you
at
go,
that.
22 times. What I hate about this is how, in the moment, what it did for him. Like, AI is one of the hardest working players that you will ever see. Like, never did he not leave everything on the court. Like, he's a guy that, at his size, battled with giants. I mean, he gave the Lakers 51 in game one. They had no business being there, yet they got to win, and he dropped 51. But it tormented him for a while. Larry Brown, still the head coach, came here 1-1 with the Pistons, but tormented him. Oh, he's not a hardworking guy. Oh, he doesn't want to practice. He's not like his teammates. He thinks he's above everybody. Now look at the NBA. You get a hangnail, you don't even have to show up to the facility. How many games has Kawhi Leonard played this season? Oh, my bad. How many games has he played this playoffs?
How about Ben Simmons back in the day?
Man, who was that?
I know.
I don't even remember who that guy is.
Wow.
Did he play basketball or something?
He used to.
Yeah, so like it's interesting to see kind of like the maturation of the league. Back here, they're complaining about practice, and he's really telling the truth. Now, guys don't even have to practice if they don't want to.
Yeah, but that was the league then.
Yeah, true.
And the only thing that I kept hearing was,
But he was injured, though.
I leave everything out on the court. I play so damn hard.
But they're talking about
I know what they're talking about,
though.
Bray, but this is about a team.
Yeah.
This is about cohesion and about practice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay?
I'm sorry
It's
you need me
not
to practice
just-
in my ankle sprain. Meanwhile, I'm going to get on the court and give you everything I had. Everything I have. He was a team guy.
Was he?
They drug him into
Was
it.
he?
Don't talk about AI when he was here.
I'm just talking
this
about
AI.
AI in general. When you go up there and you fight so hard to be right, you're throwing it in the face of your entire coaching staff, which is drawing up your practice schedule. I'm a former head coach. I'm going to tell you right now, any player that doesn't take practice seriously, I'm going to have a problem with.
But do you know
and the rest of the team is too.
But do you know the exactifications around the situation? Do you know exactly what was going on? Do you? No, I don't, and that's why I'm not commenting
so
that
my
way.
thing is keep it in house.
Okay, well they didn't do it.
But
you let the information leak. Now he has to get asked the question. Now he has to answer the question
because he was such a problem. I'm going to be honest. The guy didn't win a ring ever for a reason.
He's 6 foot and playing with some bums. Do you want me to tell you that?
How tall was Zeke? How tall was Zeke?
Aaron McKee.
Zeke made it happen.
George Lynch.
Listen,
Eric
people
Snow.
gravitated
Todd McCullough,
towards Isaiah.
Theo Ratliff.
People
These
ran
are
away
bums.
from AI, bro.
These are bums I'm
You guys
naming.
were friends when he was here, weren't you?
No, I wasn't here. I was in the NFL, so I never spent
good.
time with AI.
So you weren't at Greektown. I appreciate
just named
that.
you 8 bums.
Listen,
you had nothing to say about that.
This guy brought the same issues everywhere he went, whether it was the bowling alley, whether it was 76ers.
This sounds personal because you're a Pistons fan.
No.
This is personal.
Listen. When he stepped over Tyronn Lue, I was all for the 76ers. Theo Ratliff, the Rattler was on that squad. I liked that team, all right? That's right. I loved me some AI. I even liked him after this thing. But then I went on to be a head coach. And while I'm sitting here watching him saying, I put it all out on there. Well, you know what? Put it all out for your teammates during practice too.
Yeah.
Because you are superhuman. But Theo Ratliff is not. Eric Snow is not. And those guys need that time with you on the practice court and in the facility so y'all can beat the Lakers. or anybody else.
I don't
Same
care
in
if they
Denver.
practiced 365 days, they would not beat the Lakers. So don't give me that. If they would have went to practice,
but
they
he
would have beat
could
the
have won
Lakers.
some stuff in Denver.
He won as much as he could. Carmelo wasn't
Maybe
practicing
if he'd have
either.
been to more practices, he would have actually won a little more than he won.
Is this why they gave him a 4-foot statue out in Philly?
Where have the Philadelphia 76ers been since he left? Wait, 86ers. Trusting the process. And with that, we're about to go to commercial.
Top 5 pick, top 5 pick, top 5 pick.
And with that, my man Pete is going to tell you about Guardian Alarm.
That's right, everybody. What happens when you see that black and yellow sign down in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing. That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. And that technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. So call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Nashville Hot is back. Limited time offer. I keep telling you, you know what? It's not going to be so limited. It will be gone if you don't check it out soon. That's the pizza, the sandwich, and the chicken tenders. Fire, by the way, and also the Nashville Hot Fries. Also, hey, if you don't want it, if it's too hot for you, they still have the crispy chicken and pizza featuring fresh sides and salad. It's the best spot right now. It's popping, it's hot. Pull up on them. But remember, that Nashville sandwich is hot. Limited time only. Welcome back. Ermanni Edwards, almost second hour of the show. No Ryan, but we got Anson Wells, Michigan State's own. Tom Mazaway is back from his trip to Nashville and the wedding and the Kentucky Derby that was watched on the phone.
Hey, one of the highest rated Kentucky Derbies. NBC.
1987, correct?
Yeah, NBC put it out. I'm telling you, man. I think horse racing might have a renaissance one of these days. Bring it back, baby. Sport of Kings.
T-Mac in the chat. I find it funny to see an adult stick up for AI in that moment.
You said an adult? Great, you found the one guy who had something to say about you.
Oh, I got a bunch more, man. Bray just dying on the wrong side of this, my man Michael Bagsby.
I didn't die. At the end of the day, I gave him time to explain his point. I let him, he was very passionate about it. I let him talk. I still disagree. Like, he's never been at the podium. He's never been a player. So I took a player stance on it, and we arguing from two different points. He's arguing from a coach's standpoint. Excellent. I'm arguing from a player. We had some combative agree. It was excellent conversation. We actually fist bumped off the air when it was over. It was a great conversation. If I lost, I lost. But I got my point across, and I think he did too.
Would you trade him for Chauncey?
Here's the problem with that. That's a hindsight question.
Sure.
Because am I trading him from AI and his greatness, or am I trading him AI
to fill seats?
Couple bumps in a row, then he goes Memphis, coming here, staying out at the casinos at all times of the night. Meanwhile, I know Chauncey's out here a leader and won a championship. So it's at what time am I trading him?
Yeah. Right now, hindsight's pretty clear.
Yeah, hindsight's clear. 100%. Chauncey Billups.
No doubt.
100%.
Come on back, C. Bill.
Hey,
look,
CB's
my guy. You will never hear
09.
That was 09.
It was 09.
Yeah.
He had some great years out there in Denver, but to your point, they weren't. He was happy taking the back seat to Carmelo, who's also not the best leader, if you will, on the court. Hell of a player, but not the best leader on the court. He took a back seat, and he was happy to take that back seat. A lot of pressure was on him in Philly. Didn't necessarily always make the right move, so he was happy to sit back and let Carmelo run the show. So went there, had good years, but there was nothing in terms of bringing teams to a championship.
Explain to the people. Tell them what you used to do at these Piston games. What's your Twitter handle? What's your Twitter handle?
It's at Detroit Heckler.
Heckler. At Detroit Heckler.
You suck.
Well, no, see, I didn't say.
Hey, you suck.
No, I never said that. I never said you suck. I never swore. I got the runners used to bring me the stat sheets, and I would drop a stat on you. And then, but how are you going to go and be so stupid, Kurt Thomas? They don't pay you to sit the bench. Oh. And then when they turn and start talking to me, the first thing, don't talk to me. They don't pay you to talk to me. And they know that I'm right, but they'll never give me the satisfaction of turning around. And at that point, I've won because they're talking to me. I watched one time when a outlet pass went right over Kurt Thomas's hand while he's talking to me for a free layup for Chucky Atkins. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we won by 2 points that game.
Proud of being a heckler?
I was proud when a Cleveland Plain dealer went out to Utah and was talking.
Oh, you told me this was pretty cool.
Not George Karl, Jerry Sloan, Hall of Fame player and coach. He said, "Who's the best heckler in the NBA?" And he said, "Hands down, the little white boy behind the visitors bench in Detroit." And that was the thing, funny. Man. Is I was worth 2 points every single game I was there.
I'm not mad. You're one of those situations where I definitely appreciate, especially like if it's on your team, like if I'm playing for the Pistons, I appreciate you because you're getting guys, you're talking them out of your game. But also, you are annoying as hell. You know why? Because you don't curse. I think when you're able to be that direct without cursing, without using those type of words, like, look, if somebody's like cursing at me, I'm not going to let you curse at me, but I'm like, man, all right, shut the F up, blah, blah, blah. I'm going back about my business. But if you're yelling at me and using profound words and like you really getting under my skin, like that's tough.
Yeah.
Like, you curse me, I'm cool. You don't curse me, weirdly enough. Now I'm like, hey, man, hey, Usher, right there, section 2. Get him out. I got to pull the Troy Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, I got a yellow card my very last game at the Palace. I got a lot of yellow cards, a lot of warnings.
So, hold on. So you're not affiliated with the team. So you have to explain to us, because this is an MLS, how and what happens when you get a red card? I mean, a yellow card.
Well, a yellow card, basically, you get one more opportunity. And if you mess up, they're going to pull you out the game.
This is a real thing?
Yeah. Well, and so there was actually back, I want to say like 2002, they had a contest, and they were giving one seat away to the best heckler.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't
So you
win.
do work for the team.
I didn't win, but I became the heckler. I mean, in fact, Chauncey Billups signed my Game 5 championship ticket to Anson Wells, the best S-talker in the world.
You did
They
tell
appreciated
me
it, for sure.
That was a heck of a story, too. You told me that one before. Tom Mazaway, speaking of the Met Gala.
Let's hear
not the Met Gala. Speaking of the Tom Brady roast, we didn't get you in on that. Did you get a chance to watch the Tom Brady roast?
I watched about a first hour, and I did.
And you probably saw some clips.
Yeah.
You probably saw some clips.
The whole thing is on Instagram. They got enough clips. It was 3 hours and 7 minutes long. Some edgy, some racy things. Nikki Glaser cracked the joke about
She's my
Aaron.
favorite.
Okay,
I love her.
She's your favorite. Did you see the joke that she said about Aaron Hernandez?
Oh, yeah.
You weren't here, so we didn't get a chance to talk to you. I want to talk to you guys about where you stand on that. We know what a roast is. A roast is people sign up for you to let them have it. You would be great at this, by the way, Anson.
No holds barred.
They sign a contract basically that everything is on limits. So if you don't like the heat, then you got to get out of this kitchen. Tom Mazaway, was anything said that was off limits in your estimation?
No, not at all. I used to watch the old Dean Martin roast way back when.
They were great. Sammy Davis.
Yeah, those were fantastic. This roast is taken to another level. You got Jeff Ross,
raunchy.
He's the roast master general.
He's great.
This guy.
Yes,
He's a comedian.
He's great.
He's the king of roasts. He is doing it. Kevin Hart is the host. He did a fantastic job.
Nikki Glaser was amazing.
Nikki Glaser, the minute she came up, I told my wife,
buckle
up.
Yep.
She's going to be the best thing that you heard all night.
Hernandez
and she was fantastic. She's talking about all the rings Tom Brady has won. Then she's making fun of Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe was there. Drew Bledsoe was great, by the way.
He was great, I heard.
He was terrific.
He was
terrific.
Really good. It's so cathartic. We all wanted to see that for 20 years now.
Unbelievable.
The funny thing about it is Drew Bledsoe's wife still hates Tom Brady. Like, she still hates him. You saw that in the Dynasty. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So she basically, Nikki Glaser is a great comic, and she doesn't hold back. She is raunchy as they come, good looking. She's got it all. And she basically said, even Aaron Hernandez has got a ring, another ring more than you, Drew Bledsoe. It's around his neck, though.
Oh, man.
I was
brutal.
Whoa.
Brutal.
But do you think it was anything off limits, or you think you saw what Tom Brady said when Jeff Ross cracked that joke about Robert Kraft?
He stood up and said, that's enough of that.
But they had the microphone. The microphone still works. You can hear him.
I know.
He said, "Hey, don't say that."
Because he brought up Robert Kraft going to the massage.
And that was the only time that Tom got out of his seat and he said, enough.
Yes.
He said, "Don't do that."
But I think he was just fooling, to be honest with you.
I don't know about that. You know him and Robert Kraft tight.
Yeah.
I know. Kraft laughed, and him and Jeffrey Ross shook hands at the end.
Listen, our country for the last 8 years has been worried about what we say and speak and how people take it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you're right.
The entire time I'm watching that last night, I just had Don King in my head, only in America. All right? You step onto that stage for a roast and you are the GOAT, you know that they're going to be hitting everywhere above and below the belt. I thought it was awesome. I think that's one of the few dudes in the history of mankind that could stand up there and take it. And he did. I mean, I got to go home and finish it, but yeah, there was some low blows there, but they were all well-deserved, and I thought they all hit in terms of comedy. It was fantastic.
There were a couple people that were upset, though.
I'm sure.
Both exes of Tom Brady. His his girlfriend that he dated for a couple years, Bridget Moynihan, she was a TV star.
Has a child with her.
Yep, he had a child with her. She was pregnant when he left her and went with Giselle. So there were jokes about her, and then all night long, they were killing him about his divorce from Giselle and how she hooked up with the karate, with the jiu-jitsu teacher. and they were saying, Tom, you are so smart, but how dumb were you to have Giselle go to this jiu-jitsu, and then she's working out 7 times a day, and she's still only a white belt. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? It was back and forth. And then Nikki Glazer's like, hey, Tom, hey, great comeback for you. You lost your wife. You went 8-9. Hey, great move by you. 8-9, you lost your family. Great father. They were killing him. So Giselle is pissed. And Bridget Moynihan, they are so mad, and they think he broke the code.
I mean, they're both old news now.
But let me ask you this question, because once again, I still haven't seen it, so spoiler alert. But what did he break the code of with them in particular? Like, that's why I'm confused right now. Like, if they were saying he broke the code in terms of, like, the Aaron Hernandez, because he cracked the joke on Aaron Hernandez. He said the bar is set kind of low. All you got to do is catch, block, and not murder.
And not murder, exactly.
So are they mad at that joke? They think that was distasteful, or they're mad at their relationship stuff?
They're mad at the relationship stuff, obviously.
Well, then you shouldn't have divorced them.
Well, yeah. I know.
It was a public divorce.
I guess, there was no holds barred last night.
I got to watch it. Now I'm excited.
You got to watch it. I mean, the Giselle jokes were hilarious.
He's an idiot. He lost Giselle. But
they were hilarious.
I get it. He's Tom Brady, but.
You show me the hottest woman in the world, and I'll show you somebody who's tired, and you know the way the rest of that
I'll also
goes.
show you a man that tried to play football until he was 80 years old. Like, if I'm his partner, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm her partner and she's trying to keep like,
dude won a ring in his second to last year. I think it was a good move.
Then he went 8-9 twice.
8-9.
He retired 5 times.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not mad at him.
At what time do you?
You know why they're mad? Because they're not. Neither of those women are talked about or relevant the moment that he left them, and the only time that they're relevant again is during a roast. So
what?
It's not like he went up there and
Did you just say Giselle is irrelevant?
Pretty much. When was the last cover she was on?
She don't want to be on the cover.
Okay,
She made $100 million a year for 3 years.
When she didn't want to be on a cover or date that man anymore. All right? So,
look,
literally, the only time that anybody talks about Giselle now, though, is when Tom Brady's name comes up, right? Nobody talks about Bridget Moynihan.
Nobody was talking about Tom Brady until he got with Giselle Bunnigan.
Say what?
Nobody was talking about Tom Brady until he got with Giselle. Tom Brady was the guy that played quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Well, and yet he
and
lapped
then he got
her,
with
and
Giselle, and then he got better.
Relevance, man. Where's
Not
Giselle?
Money.
Where's
she
Giselle's
still got more money
roast?
than him.
Where's Giselle's roast?
You guys handle the rest of the show. I'm going to get the hell out of here.
She still got more money, and now she about to get half his money, too.
Listen, all I'm saying is
it's cheaper
women that are on top in the limelight and that disappear from it will find every reason to complain so that somebody writes a story about them.
She out here boning jiu-jitsu teachers. Like, she don't care about time. She don't care about being irrelevant.
Jiu-jitsu teacher
you know who else complained? Aaron Hernandez's ex.
We did see that yesterday.
Aaron Hernandez's ex complained. Hey, look, my daughter looked up to him as a hero, blah, 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 blah.
So what we
still
said...
a murderer.
Really.
That's kind of what we said.
What does she expect?
That's kind of what we said. Is like, you can understand, both things can be true. Like, she can be mad it happened. She can be very upset. Her child will see that. Probably definitely looked up, and understandably so. At the same time, your husband's out here killing people.
There's a special on Netflix that they can tune into to know the whole deal. I mean, come on. I just don't get it. I mean, I understand why you'd be upset. There was some really low blow jokes when it came to Aaron Hernandez, but the dude murdered people. I mean, and it wasn't like an accident, you know? I mean, it was a full-on cover-up. We've seen it on Netflix. Yeah. How you can go into that thing and turn it on and expect him to not get mentioned, that's on you.
Well, you know who got mentioned, and that's Greg Doyle, Indiana.
The Indy Star.
Remember the Indy Star guy, Greg Doyle, one of the best in the business. He works for them. He's their main guy, Maz, if you will.
He's a big mouth.
He's a big mouth. What happened with him and his big mouth and Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark, it was, about 3 weeks ago. She's doing the press conference. And you have that, Pete? Yeah. Let's play it.
My man, Pete.
Hi, Caitlin. Greg Doyle, Indy Star. Real quick, let me do this.
You like that?
I like that you're here. I like that you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so.
Okay, well, let's start doing it to me, and we'll be able to get along just fine. So, question is.
Repeat after me. Creek.
Start doing it to me. He's talking about the heart symbol. What is it? This.
Yeah.
Oh, like that. So it was pretty awkward. She handled it like a pro. By the way, she looks great in WNBA. She's doing what she did in college. Hats off to Caitlin. So he gets suspended for 2 weeks, and he is not allowed to cover any Caitlin Clark games all summer.
That's
just handed down today.
And this is the right call. Not that we're going to spend a lot of time talking about this, but this is the right call. Like, he made it creepy and awkward. And if it's starting that way, Maz and Anson, if it's starting at that,
precedent.
You know what's coming.
You're setting precedent right there. And if you don't nip it in the bud, I mean, she's such a polarizing figure as it is.
Yeah.
People love or hate this girl. So early on, they're gonna test the waters to see what they can get away with. This is an athlete that the WNBA has to protect at every single cost, especially.
This is the future of their league.
Yeah, especially this first season. So, I'm a free speech guy, but that's a professional setting. That's just not what you do.
Yeah, also, with the Caitlin Clark situation, I love that you said she's doing the league. Had discussions about Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA, how it was going to change, what she'd be able to do, what she did at a collegiate level. And my opinion was, why not?
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
This isn't the NBA where she was out there doing this against, like, AAU schools.
Correct.
They play 4 years against the same women that are going to get drafted into the NBA and then play a 10, 11-year career. Like, why would it change? And boy, is she cooking.
Yes, she is.
Fantastic. I love that the WNBA players, when she was about to get drafted and after she got drafted, just kind of talking like, you think you're going to have that effect here? You think you're going to be that good? Oh, they better wake up quick.
They will wake up quick. And by the way, I got a little secret surprise for you. So, Bray, I need you to put your headphones on.
I got it.
All right, here we go. This is our good friend, the heckler himself.
Oh, boy.
At a Pistons game.
You talk during meetings, and you have to keep quiet. Does he let you speak? Does he let you talk? You gotta keep.
Hey, shut up. Let me ask you this question.
Who are you yapping at?
I'm yelling at Bradley Beal there, and this is when he was an early wizard.
I'd been yelling at him too if I was a Phoenix Suns player.
Well, though, but this is right when he was maybe in his second or third year with him.
John
and he
Wall
had a
still
real
there?
problem with John Wall.
Gotcha.
So I'm asking him, does Does John Wall let you speak? Does he let you talk during meetings, or you have to keep quiet?
Now I gotta
So the
fight
whole
you.
game, I'm like, you carry his luggage. He make you carry his luggage, and
now I gotta fight you.
In the last minute, he cooked us, and he turned right to us after, right to me after he hit a bucket. And I did one of these little, hat takeoff or tip of the cap. But at the end of the game, they actually.
If I would have been the Pistons players, I'd have been pissed. I'm like, shut up!
They
you
were
just
terrible.
got us cooked.
No, we were terrible last season at the Palace.
This is.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
no. I was very careful in who I went after and how and
Not
when
that
I went
night.
after them. No, not that night. But I mean, we were a joke at that point. But
Backfired.
the Wizards were so impressed in how I handled myself and the fact that I didn't cross the lines that most hecklers cross.
Yeah.
That they came up and got me some information to send me Bradley Beal's signed jersey. So that was a good time. I did get a yellow card shortly after that, though.
All right, look, let's get out of these basketball conversations. Enough about Tom Brady and that road. Maz, some signings have happened in the NFL. We have some NFL news. Why don't we swing it around the league a little bit?
We can do
But
that.
First,
Go ahead.
let's get a message from Peter over there
All
and
right.
WSN merch.
Sounds good, man.
Much there, Bray. Yes,
got
you
it,
can
brother.
head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and pick yourself up some of the latest hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Don't forget, obviously, we just had the NFL draft here. You can get the NFL draft 775,000 t-shirt there. It's a whole new slew of Detroit sports wearables. Again, head to shop.woodwardsports.com and get yourself something nice. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
All right, here we go. I keep warning you. Look, the summer is going to get here. You are not going to be where you want to be, and I'm not going to fat shame you, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you, you had the chance to get to Planet Fitness where your fitness is essential. It's only $10 a month. Sign up. Somebody told me I could work out for $10 a month. Get jacked like this, then I would do it. So, hey, look, follow the plan. Your fitness is essential. And also, there's no judgment there. You're working out at your own pace. They also have a total body workout right there in the middle for you. It's a 30-minute circuit, so you don't even have to come in and figure out what to do. They're telling you what to do. And also, clean, squeaky clean gym is what they have. The locker rooms and showers, they're a place for you to come comfort and have a good time. Planet Fitness, sign up now. I'm telling you, your fitness is essential.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like you live there right now, my friend.
You
I
know
gotta
what?
say, you are swole.
I appreciate that, man. I hadn't worked out in a while. I got a little unhappy with my look. My lady was crushing it in the gym. I looked over one day and said, "Oh hell nah, this is not the road we can go down." So, but it's also it's peace of mind.
Sure.
I think whenever I've been at my best, whether it was in the league, whether it was after football, workout was somewhere in there. Your workout is healthy for the mind, it's stimulating, it's good for the body too. So I advise everybody, and it's just movement. Like, man, everybody doesn't have to come in there and lift what I lift or run like the guys.
That's good because not many people can lift what you lift.
This is true, but like, I see so many. That's why I love working out at Planet Fitness as well as other places. You just see different people at different paces doing different things, and that's why there are no judgment zone. That's why that's so important too. Everybody at their own pace.
Absolutely.
100%. Tom Mazaway, take us to our bread and butter.
You got it, my friend. Let's go around the NFL. Start right here in our own hometown of Detroit, Michigan. How about those Lions? Bring them back.
How about the Lions?
CJ, the safety. That's right. He's coming back, folks. He is coming back. CJ Moore. Yes, you remember him. The safety that was suspended alongside Jamison Williams for gambling, he was one of the guys suspended indefinitely. Well, he is obviously, everyone is off the hook now, and the Lions have decided to bring him back. Great special teams guy. They just add their own again, Braylon. They signed him as an unrestricted free agent back in the day, and here he is now.
Per Ian Rappaport, free agent safety, C.J. Moore is re-signed with the Lions for a 1-year deal, like Matt said, after serving that suspension. You know what I like about this? One is telling me that they like C.J. Moore. They're telling me C.J. Moore was a Lion. They're also telling me that there's something there to him. The NFL had not figured out the betting situations. The NFL got it completely wrong. I mean, if you bet 5 feet from the building, are you connected to the Wi-Fi? I know some people bet on their teams. Some people deserve the suspensions they got. Some people were kind of casualties of war of trying to figure out a system. What say you about C.J. Moore coming back?
I mean, I like the fact that there's forgiveness.
Yeah.
You know, the Lions, obviously, this is one of their guys. This is a system guy.
Is Cam Sutton coming back? Oh, no, it's too soon.
A little too soon for that one, right? But no, this is two things. This is sticking with a guy that's part of your system, but it's also giving him another chance in something that, you know, he's not out getting a DUI or on the lam. You know, this is something that the league has partnered with these same websites that this guy's using. So it's a massively gray area, and I'm glad to see that they welcome back Jamison the way that they did last year, and again this year with CJ.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought him back as well. Like, you can't figure out the system. You can't punish people for a system that you really don't have the correct rules for, man.
Yep.
Hey, Lions' new rookie, Ennis Rakestraw from Missouri. He fulfilled a promise to a friend. He fulfilled the promise
to the janitor.
Yes, but now he also did one to his teacher, his 4th grade teacher. Wrote him a letter and said, "I'm going to become a pro football player, and I'm going to mention you when I do."
How cool.
And there's the letter right next to him. And this is a Lion, right? These are the kind of guys that the Lions want to draft.
We can go on for nausea and talk about this. So, in fact, we will. Brad Holmes is just getting it right. He's looking for great character guys, but he's not looking for great character guys that are scrubs. You know, this isn't like Northwestern. We're just looking for some great character guys. No, he's looking for great character guys that also have that dog in them, that have that attitude, man. And you just can't say enough about what you're seeing. Right after the draft, I believe it was, he took a jersey, his Alabama jersey, to his janitor, the high school janitor.
Got it.
Now here he is. Look at that letter, though. It's amazing. It's amazing when you see things come full circle.
And as a teacher, you got to get a lot of those things where you're like, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that.
And never happen.
You hope for it, you know, but you know it's probably not going to happen. That's fantastic. You know, having been a little bit of a teacher in my day and a high school head coach, that stuff to me, when they come back and they still are thinking about you and you know that you made your mark on them, it's fantastic. I'm really curious, though. I've always kind of wanted to ask this. You guys are the leaders and best in a hell of an academic program.
Here we go.
What was the chatter like against Northwestern?
What chatter?
E equals MC. You run around that corner and then we square it. How did that work?
Surprisingly enough, Northwestern did have some guys that could play, and they actually beat Michigan in 2000 and then again in '97. They were really Darnell Autry. He was a monster.
Player.
Then Dwayne Bates.
They were Bears, right?
They were cold. But Michigan, we had way more people there. I think their field is Ryan Field, correct?
Ryan Field. They just tore it down.
So they tore it down because
they're going to literally play on Lake Michigan. They're going to make a stadium on Lake Michigan for the next 2 years where Northwestern will be playing until they rebuild Ryan Field.
It's the funniest thing ever is because they legitimately get a new stadium because they think they believe in their coach. Pat Fitzgerald has run a couple double-digit seasons, and then you get the whole over-hazing gate.
Yes.
Now he gets fired. Now you got this bum team with a brand new stadium. But we had way more people than Ryan Field. Michigan's everywhere, but I think our hub is Chicago.
What was the smack talk, though? Was it very intelligent?
I bet you don't know what pie is. No, I'm joking.
I love it.
3.14 the touchdown.
Why'd you bring up Northwestern?
He talked about him just a second ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So, but anyway, getting back to now you got me. Now you got me off base thinking about this whole situation. How much their fans suck. They didn't have any fans, man. It was like 1,000 people, and then all you would see was Amazing Blue everywhere.
Well,
did they have cucumber sandwiches?
They had a great renaissance.
Yeah.
They did. And now they kind of evened out again. And they're in the Big Ten, man. It's tough to compete.
True.
Now, you might never see him again.
Yeah, they'll never see him again.
Just send him to the Ivy League,
You will still see great picks by Brad Holmes, and this is the kind of guy, and Terry and Arnold, this is the kind of guy in Ernest Rakestraw.
Yes, sir.
You're just excited to see because the team is only going to be great.
More and more culture, man.
This team could be so great, and they didn't even spend money. That's what we talked about, Maz, yesterday.
Yep.
They didn't spend the big dollars at every turn that everybody wanted to. Give us Daniil Hunter. Give us Chris Jones. No, this isn't you. I'm just saying, like, everybody.
Wilkerson,
give us Legarius Sneed. Give us. They did it their way, and it's going to pay off because now they still got money in the bank to pay their actual players. Time as
Now, did they shortchange themselves with a wide receiver, though? Because the wide receivers are falling off the free agent list. Another one bites the dust today in Tyler Boyd. He signs with the Tennessee Titans.
Why?
Why, though? I want to know what the deal. I mean, well, shoot, they got what? They picked
probably got 1 or 2 years and probably $6 million, right?
Probably 6 or 12 million.
How much did they get? 4.5.
So Chark landed in San Diego too, right?
Yeah.
So you know what that means? That meant that Tyler Boyd thought he was worth more money. That means the deal that he was trying to get worth more money, and then that means people, you know what, we're not going to give you that. And then more and more you start seeing that that's not your value, that's not what people are going to pay you. Then it's like, all right, well, let's take a good deal, and maybe we got to go prove it. This is a prove it deal for Tyler Boyd. Will Levis. They draft Joe Alt. They have DeAndre Hopkins still. Now you add Tyler Boyd. What say you about that offense right now? Are you a Will Levis guy?
I like Will. I mean, I don't see him as a top 10 quarterback in the future, but I think he's a top 16 to 18 guy.
Okay.
With Tyjae Spears and a couple of the weapons, they got the big kid they drafted a couple years ago. I'm forgetting his name.
Wide receiver Treylon
Burks.
Burks.
Gave up Brown for him.
This is true.
Gave up A.J. Brown for him.
Yeah, I think that offense is going to be intriguing. I think that it's not a bad spot for Boyd to go and be, maybe even the number one there because Burks hasn't been the guy so far. But to me, that's just kind of a dead end, like short stop for Boyd when he had an opportunity to take a little bit of pay cut and come win a championship.
It's going to be interesting to see. And the only reason I said Maz is funny, they definitely tried to do what the Minnesota Vikings did. Minnesota Vikings let Stephon Diggs walk out the door. You know why? Because Justin Jefferson was coming.
Correct.
I think that's what they thought was going to happen. It hasn't necessarily happened yet. But you still have DeAndre Hopkins. He's still an elite. I won't say he's elite. He's still a damn good wide receiver in this league, one of the best in the last 20 years.
He can have an almost 1,000
He had 3 touchdowns
season.
last year in the game.
He can have an almost 1,000-yard season.
But what I'm saying is the tutelage part.
Yeah.
I think Treylon Burks this season is going to surprise some people. And I think that Tyler Boyd move, if you can get something out of Will Levis, might not be a bad one for this offense.
By the way, just a side note, last night that reminds me of Bill Belichick on the dais.
Unsung hero of
Bill Belichick did a great job of roasting Tom Brady, but he roasted Danny Amendola. He compared Randy Moss. Randy Moss is sitting there, Danny Amendola sitting in the second row, with his good looks and everything. And Bill's like, hey, Danny, hey, great job for us. What'd you get? 200 yards? 200 yards. Or as Randy Moss would say, a pretty good day. He was killing. He killed Amendola. I mean, I thought he was fantastic. And keeping with Cincinnati since Tyler Boyd left on our way home yesterday, my daughter Abby is a huge Joe Burrow fan. Dad, can we stop at the Bengals Stadium on the way home? Okay, sure, honey. We pull into the Bengals Stadium, Paycor Stadium. We take some pictures. We tried to sweet talk our way into the field, but they were redoing the field, so they wouldn't let us in. We went into the pro shop. That cost me some money. The pro shop cost me some money. But, we got to stop in the jungle. Who day? The Cincinnati Bengals. All right, moving on.
Speaking of fans, I know your wife is a fan of Porno Jimmy.
Of who?
A.K.A. Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Is your wife's a fan, right?
This will be the 4th jersey I have to buy her now.
But you see Jimmy G's getting suspended.
For HGH?
4 game PEDs.
Oh, PEDs.
What is Jimmy Garoppolo taking?
Well, he was hurt. So he was trying to get healthy.
What kind of performance was he enhancing, though? On the field or?
Okay, next comment over there, Maz. This guy right here.
Nice job, Anson.
He's a sly guy.
I like the way you spun that.
He's a sly guy. There's kids that watch this shit.
Hey,
knock it off.
Tank Dell, wide receiver. He was
love him.
He was shot a couple of weekends ago in Miami at a nightclub. He's okay, and he should be ready to play this upcoming season for Texas. He got hurt mid-season last year. He was having a hell of a year that
Two things about this. One, I don't like this story, and the reason why is like a player's at a nightclub, he gets shot, very minimal coverage. Very minimal coverage. They didn't talk about a lot. This is one of the guys that had an elite season. He was elite for them until he got injured. Nico Collins, comes out of his shell.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about it enough. Like, this guy gets shot. Now, had it been one of his friends that shot somebody, or had it been him, obviously it'd been a bigger story. But like, make sure this guy's okay. I didn't like the minimal coverage, and maybe it's just me as a former player, but
probably is. Probably is.
It was just news, not controversy. People don't care about news.
We want to tell you about Rashid Rice and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know that.
They're still talking about Rashid Rice.
I know. He's in trouble, man. He's in trouble. They're going to make an example out of him.
He missed half the season.
At least.
But once again, he did not take that BAC, and that's the only reason he'll get suspended. He took that BAC
Smart.
It definitely was. I am not advocating what he did.
It is your right to not provide evidence against yourself.
Explain what that is to the people
I will
who don't know what that is.
not incriminate myself.
That's right.
The blood alcohol content.
Oh, the BAC.
Level. The BAC.
Refusing that handheld test is only a civil infraction for you at home.
Yeah.
I got news for you.
I got no comment.
Drivers, this is a no-fault state. So my wife gets hit a couple of weeks ago.
Got to
3
pay
weeks
for
ago.
it yourself.
He hits her. She stopped at a red light. Bangs it. Butt right into the car. Gets under the car. Backs up. Takes off. My wife gets a picture of his license. Sends it to the, gives it to the police officer. Blah blah blah. They don't do anything to him. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing. He might get a leaving the scene of an accident ticket.
Too bad it wasn't Rashid Rice that hit her, because you see that 2 of the people involved in that crash, Rashid Rice, have already filed suit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Just a side note on that. Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa closing in on a new extension.
Smart.
So Tua, here's your team, man.
Here you go. Report. This is from ML Football. Long-term contract negotiations between the Miami Dolphins and quarterback Tua Tagovailoa have officially began. ESPN Sports have begun, Tagovailoa will sign a 4-year extension worth $220 million. So basically $55 million a year. This is validating, I think, what everybody we've been talking about for a minute. Is he the guy? Are they looking for somebody else? Can you win with Tua? Do they back Tua? Mike McDaniels knows who his quarterback is. If you remember, and I'll bring this to you, Anson, soon as he got on that plane and became the head coach, who was the first person he called? He called Tua Tagovailoa, said, "You're going to be our guy. As soon as I land, let's start watching film." He's a much better quarterback because he fits Mike McDaniel's system. Mike McDaniel fits his system based on getting rid of the ball fast. So it's a match made in heaven with those two. This is the right call, you think?
I absolutely agree. I was curious to hear what you had to say. This is one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league while still being one of the most accurate. And he's liked by that team. He fits in well in that clubhouse. And Miami is not a place where you can always fit in as a leader or as a quarterback.
Yeah.
God knows they've gone through quite a few since Mr. Marino. I think that he is the quarterback to stay there. I mean, he's certainly a top 5 to 7 quarterback in the league, and you just don't let those guys go.
I think a thing that for his team and where they really started maybe to get behind him. Remember what happened in training camp? I think it was Ryan Clark said some comments on, cracked the joke about him being a little fat. Yeah. And then he was like, he wanted to smoke. He was like, "Hey, I appreciate if you shut up. I mean, we don't joke like that where I'm from." Like, I think that, because before that, he's he's oos and everybody's nice and it's free love. That moment, I think his team was like, "This is our guy." Also, they just signed another wide receiver. He's a little old.
OBJ.
But OBJ still got juice in those tires, man. You saw a couple players with Baltimore.
They have a lot of talent on offense. They do.
They got the fastest team in the NFL. That backfield. Whew.
Adding Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright's a baller, man.
Forgot about that too. Yeah, they had a good draft and they have had a decent offseason so far.
I liked their draft a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
They kept the band together. They added some pieces. That's a team in the AFC that's really ready to take that step.
I had clean slated them out of the East. I said, you know what? Nah, Miami's dead. I think it's over. But they made some moves. You never know what the Jets are going to do. What's this Aaron Rodgers experiment going to be? Buffalo is on the decline. I promise you that. Buffalo is trash. And then, obviously, the Patriots, we know where they are. This is Miami's year. They play it right, man.
I hope you're right, man. I'd like to see him do something. But not this year. I want the Jets to give something to Aaron Rodgers.
Of course I do. I just got a new Jets jersey.
This is the Jets year.
Who's the number 2 wide receiver on the Jets this year?
The number 2 wide receiver is Mike Williams. Number 1 wide receiver is Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
It's obviously Garrett. I'm just wondering, because I'm not a Mike Williams believer, and at the end of the season, I don't really see that going to Mike Williams being the number 2 stat-wise.
I've never liked Mike Williams because, pause, he has a body like Calvin Johnson, but he runs like Mike Thomas. Like, he's a relic of a, I mean, don't get me wrong, the 50-50, he's great at the 50-50s. He always typically wins those. Got to give him a lot of credit. And he is good at going over the middle. I mean, he's a taller guy. So
he's like a tight end.
But exactly. He's a slow tight end. He's a slow, methodical player, and he's always hurt. So I like the pickup in the initial, but then once you sit there and think about what Mike Williams has been the last 3 years, you're like, I hope he can make it 18 weeks.
So, Malachi Corley, Jason Brownlee, and Xavier
Malachi
Gibson.
Corley.
All three of those guys. I think
Malachi
one of those guys steps up. Corley, to me, is kind of like a poor man's Xavier Legette. Not the same size, but what he can do with the yak. Ooh.
That was your call?
That was my call.
That was it.
The 65th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.
Did you give him a look? How's he look?
Malachi Corley. Man, you talk about it. Yards after catch, it's ridiculous.
Amazing.
Like, when he does yards after catch, you know who he reminds me of? Like, perfect, I got it for you. He's a former Detroit Lion. He was one of the ones the Lions really kind of fell in love with. Golden Tate. Golden Tate.
I like that comparison.
Golden Tate was like, you look at him, you look at his build, like, you play wide receiver? As soon as he gets the ball in his hands, though, like, he's getting you yak. Like, he's
great.
Like 100%. His yak yards when he was here with the Lions, and I played on the same team with him in Seattle. Great yak. That's my comparison for him.
Shout out to Golden Tate holding the record for most boats being kicked off of the Muskmoot Bay. Nobody wanted you on their boat, pal.
Are you? Oh, back in Jockey Nooner and Muskmoot?
Yeah, I got no love for that man.
For Golden Tate?
You know, he got kicked off of so many boats at Muskmoot. Nobody wanted him around.
Well, maybe that's why he didn't get signed back here.
I think it is.
100%. Tom Maswell, you Golden Tate guy?
Oh, of course. How do you not like him?
Yeah.
On the field, I loved him.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, I
On the
give you
field, I
that.
loved
As a
him.
Lion fan, how do you not love him?
Those ND boys, though, man. No thanks.
He's the only person that ever beat me in, only player to ever beat me in ping pong and pool.
Ooh.
Like, 'cause I'm good at both. Like, I typically don't lose, but every once in a while, yeah, look, it's better. It's bigger shark in the
Did
sea.
you play 8-ball? What'd you play?
8-ball.
All right.
He beat me 8-ball and ping pong. Like, I was all right. I got retired.
I
This happened in
housed
Seattle. I was like, it might be time for me to hang him up.
I housed Plaxico Burris in some pool games up at State.
Plax is probably on some glorious. We'll leave it at that. He was the same color as that helmet. Tom Maswell.
Hey, Pete helped me put this rundown together. So, Pete, explain to me what Micah Parsons versus a sumo wrestler is.
Ooh,
it's just a
I saw
funny
that.
video of Micah Parsons actually first losing to a sumo wrestler and then beating him in the end. A very, very funny video. Here you guys go.
Four things about this video.
Four things.
Four things stand out. Four things stand out.
Why is he doing it? That's the first thing.
Thing one, if I'm Jerry Jones, I am in that locker room, right? What the hell are you doing?
No doubt.
Like,
who put this circle down?
He is one of only 3 players that have 200 tackles and 40 sacks in the first 3 seasons. He's one of the, what are you doing? You're about to pay this man a huge extension because Jerry Jones always pays his draft picks. I asked Dak and Zeke about that. What are you doing? You're the face and the best player on the team. 1, what are you doing? 2, him and CJ Stroud have been spending a lot of time together.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And you notice there's been rumblings that people don't like Micah Parsons in Dallas, the locker room. Now, you know what's true, what's not. CJ and him have spent a lot of time together, and it is in the same state. That would be interesting. Although, I guess you couldn't because they got Will Johnson Jr., Will Johnson Jr., and then
that's okay.
they got Daniil Hunter.
That's okay. They'll still take
They
Micah.
just paid Daniil $28
They'll
million.
still take Micah, though. Nobody's
you
turning that guy down.
Now, you can't pay all those people, though. But what was the other thing in
They're
that
not going to
video?
let him go to Houston.
And the other thing
No
in
way
that
in
video,
hell would they let him go to Houston.
True that.
I agree with that. The other thing in this video is sumo wrestlers have technique. Like they're a professional just like any other profession. They master the technique over years and years and years. Obviously, he wasn't going full speed with Michael. We know that.
Do we?
But if I'm if I'm an offensive lineman and I'm watching, I'm like, great. Now he's even lower. Great. Now I got to block that. How the hell are you blocking that? If a sumo wrestler can't block it.
Maybe that's how he got his move, to be that low.
Like, I'm working on legs every day, he said.
That's incredible. That was pretty incredible.
I got another video for you guys. This is from draft night.
Hey, that was good.
Take it back to Allen Park. John Dorsey, one of the executives here, used to be one of the guys at Cleveland that Braylon would know. John Dorsey likes to prank some other NFL GMs. Give it a look.
Do you up your offer?
No.
Good to hear from you. We're working.
What's that? Dorsey. John Dorsey.
What do you say?
I'm sure he was calling with me, but...
I'm working. Dorsey, John. So John's. I mean, look, John's like a brother. Every year during draft day, when we get on the pick, I usually get this call from Dorsey, and I always know if it's on the pick that it's usually he's joking and trying to get me riled up, during the middle of trying to make a decision.
One, that's funny as heck, and I'm glad you can have that kind of fun. But also, too, like, Maz, if I'm a GM or I'm a fellow GM for another team, I don't care if we're friends or not, don't call me on draft day. We watched that video of Howie Roseman and how stressful that space is and how he's flipping deals and, okay, we'll do this. Now I got time to entertain your call, entertain you playing a joke. Don't joke with me on draft day. Joke the day before or the day after.
That's a confident man, though.
Yeah, true.
That's like being worth 2 points in a Pistons game. That's heckling at its finest, man. You taking up a little bit of their time while they're picking. I love that.
Yep. Somebody gonna make a mistake and draft it. Somebody gonna make a mistake and draft the wrong person. And
that's right.
And then he's gonna be outside. He's gonna be outside your house.
Like they said yesterday.
You cost me my job.
They said yesterday.
You got me fired.
They got to pick 199.
You have space for me in your organization because I just got fired. Because I picked the wrong guy, messing with you and your prince.
Well, that's the deal, man. That's what he's looking for. It's like when Bill Belichick's dog accidentally pressed Tom Brady when it came to pick 199.
First of all, that dog must have been drafting all of Belichick's picks in the last 6 years because all of them sucked.
At least they're first-round offensive players. That's
I haven't gotten to the Tom Brady part of the roast yet, where he gets to roast
level.
But he got one. He got a good one on Belichick.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that video of Belichick sneaking out of his girlfriend's house?
We showed it yesterday.
I can't wait to see that in the roast. That's pretty damn funny.
When they showed that, I was two things. I was proud of Bill Belichick. Look, you single. You can do what you want. You having fun now. Like, I love it.
Was the woman's husband coming home? What the hell is he going out with? Undressed for?
Where's his shirt?
Yeah,
that's my only question. like Bill, you're too old and you got too many rings. Like Bill Belichick has 10 rings.
Yeah,
you're too old and you got too many rings behind his shirt. I loved it though. He was in.
He had to be running for his life or something.
He was using those PDs.
I need to know the story about that. I need to know the story about that.
Using those PDs.
He got a steady supply of those.
Performance enhancing drugs.
That's right.
On you, Tom, man.
All right, man. I got another one for you before we. Oh, okay. All right, I'll tell you.
4.
We're counting it down.
Wait, ladies and
Here we
gentlemen.
go. Live radio, live YouTube.
First of all, keep the mics up, Mike. First of all, where is he at? Like, what neighborhood and location is it?
Because I don't know, but they got a ring. They got a Ring doorbell.
Bill Belichick is worth, give or take, 100 mil.
Yeah, easy.
Give or take 100 mil. What urban trailer?
Was that his girl's place?
I don't know.
He was sneaking out of a.
Okay, yeah, that looked legit. That was like he was sneaking out of a girl's house in Warren, man.
Like what? That's Taylor. Like,
that's where she lives. That's where he's
wherever
going.
he is at, he should not be. Like, I like that he's getting out here again. I like that he's getting active, but we need to get you active in the right neighborhood.
I have snuck out of many houses that look just like that on the Dirty East Side.
And you don't have $100 million.
Same deal.
It makes sense.
Well, fair, but you got to sneak even more if you got money.
I got so much respect for him.
You might have a point with that. You might have. Pete, have we hit all our markers as it relates to breaks? By the way.
Yeah, actually we're good. Whatever you choose to do, we can go either or.
All right, cool. Let's take a quick commercial break then. And then we'll reset the tune and we'll finish up the show.
That's right, everybody. It is Wake Up Woodward time every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Join Matt Brodeur, Sam Flannel, Kool-Aid, JB, and Kenny G. Again, every Monday through Friday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, and that would be Woodward Sports. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Back to Ermanni Edwards with Maz, last segment of the day. Appreciate you guys for tuning in the chat. Appreciate you guys for always being there. My man Anson Wells, always a pleasure to rock and roll with you. Michigan and Michigan State can get along. Time as away, some jerseys came out. Some new jerseys here in Detroit. Which
I saw them.
Seems to be our thing right now. Detroit Lions, New Jersey, and now your Detroit Tigers.
That's the City Connect uniform. I know you guys talked a little about it yesterday. I kind of got in on the chat yesterday online with our Woodward Sports gang. I kind of like them. Now, I hear a lot of people don't like them. I like them. They got the lion. To me, that's the Lions colors, blue and black. Right. And you got the tire treads going down the jerseys. The only thing I didn't like about them was the hat. I did not like the cap. I think if they come up with a better cap, I'll be happy. Even if it's a tiger itself.
Right.
Just a tiger. Like, bring back the old tiger in the circle and put that in there. The old 1970s. Logo. Something different than the one that says Detroit on it. But I like the Motor City look. I might get myself one of these jerseys.
First of all, this outfit is trash. Like, this uniform is trash. Brian Ermanni, I got to give him credit for it. He said it yesterday. That hat looks like something that you would get at a gas station. I know the exact gas station where you can purchase that hat at. First of all, the thing that makes the Detroit uniform, now I understand you can add elements to it, but the thing that makes the Tigers is having the best. The best. I don't care about the Yankees and the NY. I don't care about the B. The best hat in the business, the Old English D, is the best thing. It's the most noticeable thing about the Tigers. You cannot get rid of that D. I don't care what you do with the other uniform. I'm not going to like it anyway. But the D, come on, man. Like, you got to have a D.
I can agree with you there. It should still be part of the uniform
Pause.
somewhere. They
Major
do
pause.
have
Triple
the
pause.
Woodward patch on their sleeve.
Yeah, appreciate that.
If you notice that, which I kind of like. I like the look of it. Now, the City Connect jersey, it's not supposed to be anything to do with your real jerseys.
True,
your
but
real uniforms. It's completely different.
you better put it on the side or something. Like you need the old English D on the Detroit
Maybe
hat.
said they come up with a different hat today?
I heard that there was a new uniform.
I didn't see it, but I'll have to take a look.
Red. I think it had a different color to it as well. But
Anson, do you like the jerseys?
I like the jerseys. I've seen a lot of these new jerseys just really be done poorly. I hate the gray and blue and red ones.
You know what that jersey looks like? It's like an All-Star game jersey. And I hate All-Star game jerseys now.
So I like the look of it. I like the tread. I like the little nuances that they put in.
Who knows it's a tread until you tell them?
Well, true. And my issue with it is the Old English D. This is the most iconic logo of really
we
of
agree
any
on
team.
something.
Yeah, I mean, look at what's Magnum PI wearing, man. What's Ice Cube wearing? What I think they might have been able to do is put an Old English MC, maybe even add a little 5 in there. But the MC, that would have been cool.
That's a good idea.
That would have been cool.
Okay.
That's a very good idea.
But once again, see, that still is an element of what makes the Tigers the Tigers. And that's the only thing. I think that was my biggest problem. Once I didn't see that, I just tuned out.
Hey.
Plus, you had to tell me that was a Tiger trade.
They're going to play with these a few times all year. Have you ever seen the San Diego Padres in their pink, green, and yellow uniforms?
It doesn't matter what they wear. If Spencer Torkelson's in your roster, if Javier Baez is in your lineup, when you got these pitchers pitching phenomenal, meanwhile, they can't find the hit. How many times are we going to get 9 or more Ks and lose 1-0?
Jack Flaherty last night again. Gave up 2 runs. He's on the short end of a 2-1 game. Pitches 6 strong innings. It's a quality start again. Last week, 14 Ks. They lose 1-0.
L.
He is probably the least awarded pitcher so far in the majors, and it's Jack Flaherty. So tonight they'll try it again. They've lost 4 in a row, 3 tough ones to the Yankees, tough one last night to Cleveland. See if they can bounce back tonight, weather permitting. Right now here,
it
raining. Sucks here, but maybe in Cleveland it's a little nicer.
And Anson, this is what we kind of talked about. 18-13, you look at that record, you get excited if you're a Tigers fan. You haven't seen this since 1984. But at the same time, the majority of your wins are in the Central Division, which is the worst division because Chicago White Sox are in it. You need to play some opponents that can give you that true look. Well, they played 2 opponents that can play, and they didn't come up so good.
8 of the White Sox batters have a worse OPS than the worst qualified player from 2023, okay? This team is just in the beginning of their quality rebuild. They've been trying for a decade. This is a quality rebuild led by Jeff Greenberg, and I think that we are certainly a few players away from being able to do this all season.
Where are the players that we have? Where's Parker Meadows at?
He's going down to Toledo.
He's hitting under 100.
He's heading down to Toledo.
Take Spencer Torkelson with you. Tiger center fielder Parker Meadows is expected to be optioned to the AAA before Tuesday's game versus
hasn't happened yet, though.
Hasn't happened, but it's looking to happen. I just don't get. The pitching has been outstanding. Mm-hmm. The pitching has been outstanding to the tune of good catch or fumble, but to the tune of 1-0, 2-1. Going back to that, I just don't understand it. Tarek Skubal, you called it last week. Tarek Skubal has arrived as an ace in the ML, and he's got a chance to win the Cy Young if they can help him out.
He'll be an all-star, that's for sure. So will Riley Green. But
another home run for Riley Green.
That's it for the Tigers. That's all you really could say. They've lost 4 in a row. See if they could snap out of it tonight. And NHL tonight, last night, Bruins beat the Panthers, which is a shock to me. 5-1. Panthers, again, they had like a week off. So maybe they'll bounce back in game number 2.
Open my big mouth last night.
Tonight, you got the Hurricanes at the Rangers, Madison Square Garden, game number 2. Rangers up 1-0. They won 4-3 on Sunday.
Here's a question for you, Maz. Playing in the same city, because you're a New York guy.
Yeah.
New York Knicks are winning at Madison Square Garden. Now the Rangers are on the ice at Madison Square Garden. Does what the Knicks are doing, does it give the energy for the Rangers to come out and do the same thing? Like, don't they have momentum even though they haven't been on the ice?
They do. That building is alive, like for the first time in a long time.
It's
about
good to
time.
see.
Hey, St. John's lit it up, too. Don't forget. St. John's got robbed. They should have been in the NCAA tournament. Rick Pitino had those guys playing really well. The old Johnnies are back. So maybe MSG is waking up finally after all these years of slumber. Rangers haven't won since 94. Before that, it was 1940. And the Knicks haven't won since '73 or been relevant since Patrick Ewing has been with the team.
Mark Messier. Look,
Messiah.
I love my city. I love Detroit. It's nothing like it. It's nowhere like it. And one of the most underrated sports towns,
no doubt,
ever,
no doubt,
in the country, in the world. It's just nothing like New York, man. When the Big Four are winning.
Oh yeah.
And I'm talking about the Knicks, the Giants, the Rangers, and the Yankees.
You bet,
those
man.
four win. Like the city's just different. Like we won, or not won, but we got to the AFC Championship. You know, it was fun. It was playoff time. A lot of love. They lit up the Empire State Building green and white. Like, I'll never forget, we're flying over after beating the Colts in the playoff. No, the Patriots, when they were the 1 seed. And you fly over and the pilot's like, hey, if you look to the left, I think there's a little message for you
fantastic.
guys. We look over, it's green and white. But man, oh man, I was in the city when the Yankees won.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anybody went to work.
No.
I don't think anybody
The
went to
Jets
work.
are the second tenant in New York. They are.
Yeah,
it's the Giants town.
third tier.
And it's the Yankees town. The Mets are always second.
Because you got other teams that aren't tier 1, but they're higher than the Jets. Like the Islanders, they're higher than the Jets.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I don't know
Hockey
about
takes
that.
a back seat to football. Hockey takes a
Right,
back
you
seat
hurt
to
Maz
football.
with that one.
No,
Talk
I love
about
the
his
Isles.
He loves Islanders.
I love
I
the
know,
Isles.
but you love the Jets too.
I do. Isles won me 4 Stanley Cups in a row.
Who you like better?
Well,
Islanders. Because they won chips.
They won championship. No, the Jets are always special to me.
Okay.
I mean, you know, the Joe Namath.
What did you do? What did you do? Well, this is how we'll end it. What did you do when Joe made the guarantee and then he actually went out there and fulfilled the promise? How was that for a young?
I gotta be honest. I was
Tommy
I was
Maz?
only 7,
Okay.
and I don't remember. I was so pissed that I don't remember that Super Bowl.
I got you.
The next one was the Vikings and Chiefs. I remember that so. And then the following one was the Cowboys and the Colts. Super Bowl 5 was I was born in Super Bowl 5.
Okay.
Actually, my sports love was born in Super Bowl 5.
You know what's funny is it makes sense. 88-89, the Pistons win.
Yep.
89-90, the Pistons win. 89 after Christmas is when we moved to Atlanta. So when the Pistons won the second championship, I wasn't even here.
And you got the Braves
So
then.
I kind of don't remember the second one. I remember the first one, but I kind of don't remember the second one. So I definitely, that 7-year-old memory.
Yep.
Dang.
Yes.
What happened to it?
I was so pissed that I'm pissed still to this day that I remember the 69 Mets and the 69 Knicks and the 69. Actually, the Knicks I remember. I don't know why, but Willis Reed, 1970.
What year are you born, man? You born 62?
62.
62. Tom
Man,
Maz.
everything in my life, I revert back to music and sports.
You turned 62, huh?
Yes, sir.
And born in 62.
Born in
There you
62.
go.
So it was Super Bowl 5 that
Yes.
really crowned your
Cowboys, Colts.
Okay, that was your entry into the sports
Correct.
love. What was your first championship that made you fall in love? Could be any sport, just in sports
Which one
in
do you
general.
remember the most?
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
first?
that's what I was about to say. Because I would sit here and lie about
Yeah,
the
it don't have
Pistons.
to be the home team. It could
Yeah,
be
Ryan's
anything
like
they
4 years
remember.
older than me, so he remembers the Pistons. I kind of remember once they fell off. When the Braves finally won.
Yeah. That was
That was
fun. I
Braves.
love that
I
team,
moved
man.
to Atlanta
Early
when I was
90s.
7.
Early
Bobby
90s.
Cox was the manager, and
Yep.
that team was just loaded. When they finally got over the hump, like I was like, okay, this is what like a championship feels like. And then obviously the next time was 97.
When they beat Barry Bonds and the Pirates to get to the World Series. That was a fantastic
When Charles
year.
Woodson won the Heisman and they won in 97, that was that was the one that felt the most like, all right, like I felt I was a part of that somehow.
Now, so, I hate to admit it, but I was a Michigan fan at that point, and I was
See,
living.
what happened to you? You were a smart man. What happened?
We get into another day, but I was living in Russia when.
What city?
That's what
St.
happened.
Petersburg.
There you go. That's
I was
what
living in
happened.
Russia when we traded for Stackhouse. When Barry hit 2,000 yards,
right.
and my favorite college player of all time was the only defensive player to win the Heisman, and I was in Russia for that.
What? I never knew that.
Yeah, but 84 was my first thing that just got me hooked. We were going a lot that season, but being at Game 5 when we won it, my dad throwing Tiger Turf up to me and my brother.
There you go.
That was ingrained in me from then on.
That locked you in, man.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of locked in, man, I think we were locked in this show. This was a fun one.
And it always is, man.
Oh, we got to
Love being
ask
up here with you
Pete.
guys.
How about your favorite besides the Michigan
USFL
Panthers?
championship,
Michigan
baby.
Panthers.
You know it's the USFL
1982.
100%.
Was it really?
I
That's
knew-
awesome.
I knew that one.
And if you guys don't know at home, Pete's father was the commissioner of the USFL.
The
Yes, he
first.
was.
It's amazing.
Whatever, yes, commissioner.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
No,
would
the Michigan
ask,
Panthers
I would
for
ask
sure.
Mike, but he'll give me more about the
Mike will
Drake and
tell you about
Kendrick
Michael
beef.
Jackson.
More about Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah, right.
Drake last that thing is over.
Michael
That battle
Jackson.
is over.
Michael Jackson.
It's pretty much over.
It's over. And I don't like that Drake at the end of it said that, and this is gonna be it for me.
He tapped out.
Like,
He tapped out. He gave
But
up.
understand, you shouldn't have said it. Like, you can't just end the rap beef when you want. Like, that's not how rap. That's not how fights work.
Especially after he said he had 10 more songs for him.
If we're in a fight and you're still throwing punches, I can't say, nah, I'm cool. Like, nah, I'm cool. I'm done fighting.
That's enough.
You better go until I stop. So.
That's what Jake Paul's going to do against Mike Tyson.
And with that, that's our show. We appreciate you guys.
Hold on, I got a question for Magic. Magic Mike.
We're up against
What's going on?
Michael Jackson or your rappers of today?
Drake.
That's not even a fair comparison.
Come on, give it to me.
I can't even do it.
You have to.
Tupac.
You about to say Drake on air? You fired.
No, I can't.
Tupac, let's go.
Come on.
I'm a musician, man, so I couldn't even do that.
It's not even a question.
It's Michael Jackson.
It's the greatest.
Yes.
No, I couldn't make the comparison whatsoever.
Right.
I'm just
Like
giving
Mike
you-
is his own category, point
100%.
blank.
I'm just giving it to you, man.
Michael Jackson and Prince. That's like the only comparison.
There we go.
It's like the only one.
That's
we
a good one. That is
We
a good
appreciate
one.
you guys for tuning in. Always, you guys are the best. I hope we made you laugh a little bit in the chat. Stay fired up. Anson Wells, I appreciate you as always. Tom Mazaway, good to have you back.
Hey, we got some guests in the house tomorrow.
Oh, wait. Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer with the Detroit Lions, as well as Rob Sims, who
Yes.
partnered to create Primitive, partnered up with the Detroit Tigers, also partnered up with the Detroit Lions. We will have them in studio tomorrow, sitting right where Maz is sitting.
Awesome.
Be here or be square. Pete, appreciate you. Silent Mike, heck of a job out of both of you. We are Ermanni
Don't forget
Edwards
Joel.
and Maz. And Joel, I see you over there.
All
We're
right,
about to
Joel.
get you on tomorrow. We'll see you guys later.
Sounds like you talk during meetings and you have to keep quiet. He let you speak.